everybody. Mike Missanelli Show. It's on the air, and we have some Phillies action to talk about. I got it. Kyle Schwarber is just a flat-out beast. I don't know how anybody pitches to this guy. I really don't. I am just stunned at his ability to flash the bat head. I haven't seen anything like it for a really long time. You know, I used to look at the second baseman, and Chase Utley, to me, was one of the best at flashing the bat head out and getting his ball. But he doesn't hit it with the same ferocity. This guy hits it easy with ferocity. And right now, he is in such a groove. I don't see how anybody could pitch to him. Big night last night for Kyle Schwarber. He's now moved himself into the second favorite for the MVP in the National League. 3 for 5, 2 bombs, and I mean bombs. And the Phillies pound out 13 hits against the poor Orioles. I feel so sorry for him. First of all, they start Maury Povich last night on the mound, and Maury, he finally ran out pitch count, and then they bring in Corbin Burnson, Corbin Martin to quell things. He doesn't get in out. He gives up 5 hits and 6 runs, including a home run, and then they bring in Geraldo Rivera, right at the end. They are so hapless, the Baltimore Orioles. A team that was supposed to be good this year, a team that really had some promise last year, and they got just hammered by the Phils yesterday. It's great to see a game like that where they just pile on. I mean, I'm looking at the lineup. Edmundo Sosa with 3 hits, including a bomb. Dub with 2 for 4, including a bomb. How about that? And how about Ray's favorite player? Harrison Bader gets out of the hot pink gloves, goes with the purple gloves, bang, a 3-run home run. Key moment of the game, Ray, and I know you're proud as punch.
Good morning, Michael. It was beautiful to see that. How about it selling out for some pop and sending one into the seats while it was still a game? Open up the floodgates, Harrison. Here we go.
Oh, Ray's got a new man, Harrison Bader, so we're going to follow him intently. Harrison had his first hit as a Philly. It was a bomb. Now he's 1 for 10, Ray.
That's right.
1 for 10.
We need some pop in that outfield. There it is.
As a fighting Phil, and the Phillies. Listen, I think they get a break with this series, and there are better, more important games to come. But Luzardo, okay, 6 innings pitched, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, settled in pretty good. 91 pitches through 6. Tanner Banks continues to pitch well. And how about Seth Johnson, man? The much maligned Seth Johnson with 5 strikeouts in 2 innings of 32 pitches. He's got stuff, Ray.
High leverage for him right there. Very high leverage situation for Seth Johnson.
It was not exactly a high leverage situation. But again, he poured the fastball in.
He should be good. You watch the stuff and you think he should be good.
Yeah, I don't know what misses with him, but in any event, the fighting Phils with Kyle Schwarber. Now, listen, would I make a bet on Kyle Schwarber to win the MVP? That would be a foolish bet with Ohtani looming, right? Ohtani's going to get most of the votes. Schwarber's kind of an afterthought here. Ohtani's got more attributes. Kyle Schwarber's not going to hit close to 300. He's going to have a lot of RBIs and a lot of bombs, but I don't think that's going to be worthy of the MVP. So it's a sucker bet, I think.
I mean, right now, obviously, with the way Ohtani's the favorite, you would want to stay away because you feel like Ohtani's going to continue at this rate. And if he's the favorite right now, why would things change? To be fair, he's hitting 274 to Schwarber's, 260-something? His OPS is not... I actually think Schwarber might have an OPS. But they're right there
he's
in
got
the high 900s.
Would you bet on it?
There was a part of me today that was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do it this morning. Throw down a couple dollars.
Listen, the fact that he's second in the standings for MVP is enough for me. I mean, what he's doing is just pretty amazing. And again, I have to laugh. Like, people go, oh, are they going to sign him? Seriously? How do you not sign a guy like that? It's a foregone conclusion that they're going to sign him. I have absolutely no worry. They'd be damn fools not to sign him.
Price keeps going up.
Of course it does. $25 million for 4 years.
I don't know. That was the price a couple weeks ago.
He can't get more than $25 million as a DH.
We're talking about him as an MVP.
Yeah, he's not going to be an MVP. They got to get him under contract. I think 25. I think he'll settle for $100 million for 4 years. I think that would be enough for Kyle Schwarber.
And if he wants to settle to be here, that's great. I'm happy with that. But I think he has the legitimate case to say, hey, I hit 4. I mean, he's going to hit, what, 50 this year,
Yeah.
we assume?
I'll tell you
He's going to
something.
be the second in the MVP race?
It's really fun to watch the Phillies offensively when they get when they start hammering. We've had so many nights where their offense is feeble. Like last night was a joy. It was like one guy after another raking.
It was beautiful to watch. Once it clicked in, it was amazing just to watch them continue to bash a bullpen that, hey, when you trade every single bullpen arm you have, that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to end up rolling out the guys you did last night, and the Phillies can bash some really bad pitching, especially bad right-handed pitching.
Last night went out they threw Maury Povich, Corbin Burnson, and Geraldo Rivera at the Phillies last night, and it didn't quite work out for the Orioles. So, other news before we get to our first break here: the Eagles make a trade last night, and they trade Thomas Booker the fourth. They had depth at defensive tackle, so I don't think it's a big loss for Jacorian Bennett, who was a former starter for the Raiders, and that tells you two things. I'm not buying the fact that they traded him for depth. This guy can actually be a starter. It tells me that they are not enamored with who they currently have there. And I know he's talked about he's going to be a good special teams guy, this, that. When you trade a backup defensive tackle for a guy who started in this league, I think this guy's got a chance to be an Eagle starter. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this shows you that they're not satisfied with what they have at corner. But I'm interested in the fact that it was a corner they go out and get and not a safety. If they're going to make a move, I thought the safety position would be more where the move would be needed. So I don't know what that tells me about what they like at safety versus what they have at corner.
Yeah, well, I think they look at this guy as good value. They take a chance. Yeah, the Eagles are good at this. They get a guy who's kind of fallen out of favor with one team, but he's got ability. He certainly has ability enough to start in the NFL. His grades in Pro Football Focus are pretty good, except for the fact that he can't tackle. But it looks like a pretty decent deal for the Philadelphia Eagles as they continue training camp. We got Thursday night, finally a game where we can evaluate some people. Here's how you get into the show or the text board, 610-632-0975. Kyle Schwarber, MVP. Are you feeling it? The crowd was chanting it last night. It's the Mike Missanelli Show back after this.
Philly fans, you are the best sports fan.
10:15, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5, The Fanatic. I started thinking about this the other day. I know we threw in the Sixers and the Flyers yesterday. If you could like cut those two teams out of your brain for the time being, what is your feel-good index for Philly sports? Because I'm feeling pretty good about it. With the Phillies and the Eagles right now, I'm feeling like I'm high. Now, am I misguided? I got a little bit of a sports high right now with enthusiasm. Now, the Phillies have taken me to that level, I think, because of that trading deadline, because they got Durant.
I'm glad you clarified the sports high. I was worried for you there for a second.
Yeah, no, I got a sports high right now for the Phillies and the Eagles. I can't wait for the Eagles season to start. I think that they're a supreme team in this league. And the Phillies, by all measures, now they've moved up to number 4 in the power rankings, Ray. And they've moved up to 4. So how are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling great. I mean, when you look at the weekend they had against the Tigers, the fact that they win 2-3 against one of the better teams in the American League, and they showed you again why that starting pitching is kind of their strength. I mean, Ranger going 7, that was just a 3 earned. And really just making that one mistake. I sound like Thompson when I say that, but really just making that one mistake.
Yeah.
Sanchez with the big start on Sunday night. And obviously we've seen Durant now twice. The infusion of energy he has. Schwarber playing at this level. Harper looks like the Bryce Harper that we expect. Kind of get caught up in it there for a little bit.
They haven't gotten Bone back yet, so they're getting it done with the likes of the Weston Wilsons and the Otto Kemps of the world.
You do feel like we're at least going to be in an exciting October, an October where they're there and we feel like they have a shot. And then when you look at the Eagles season, I just can't wait for it to start. You know, as much as I love the camp battles, as much as I love training camp storylines, the reason why we sit here like, yeah, well, what does preseason do for me is because you feel so great about this team. Like, you feel like this team's going to win double-digit games again. You feel like this team has a chance to end up hosting another NFC championship game here. Like, that's what you're wrapped up in. So, yeah, I want September to get here as soon as possible because I want the stretch run for this Phillies team.
I'm more interested.
I'm so excited about this Eagles.
Yeah, I'm more interested in the Eagles preseason this year more than any other year because there are position battles. There are young guys that are trying to take control. Like, I'm so interested in seeing how the defensive ends play in preseason, the rotation they're going to use. I'm interested in the linebackers on how they're going to show whether Jahad Campbell plays in preseason at all. And then you got that cornerback battle. So, all fans can evaluate when they look at a game. And we're like, we don't have to worry about the offense. We don't have to look at the offense. Whatever they play on offense, they're going to play on offense. We know their offense is complete. We may not see a lot of those guys during the preseason. But the defensive battles where, we looked at this team and said, okay, they got some young guys that have to step up. They lost some personnel here. So those are the interesting parts of it for me.
I mean, it's interesting, but storyline, as far as storylines go, we're not talking about a quarterback battle in camp. So that's like what would be tier 1 of NFL storylines in a camp. We're not really talking about any offensive weapons that are not here holding out that they need to figure out. That would be another big thing for me. And the defensive players mean something. Like that defensive front, I'm concerned. Like you want to see what exactly they have there.
Yeah.
But I've got Jalen Carter in the middle of that line. I think that solves a lot of the problems for me. The linebacker core, we're talking about one of the better ones I think they've had in recent memory. The secondary, I've talked a lot about this summer as that concerns me, but I look at myself from a year ago, and I was concerned about what the secondary was going to be anyway. So
that's what makes this preseason so interesting, more than any other preseason, I think, because you can focus on singular things.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every preseason we got battles.
Not as many as this year. You got battles. That opposite cornerback battle is really interesting. The linebackers, where we haven't looked at linebackers and evaluated linebackers, now they have some depth there. So we can look at that linebacker battle and go, yeah, that guy can play. That guy should play. This is going to be, the rotation wise. It's really going to be. I can't wait for this first game. I really can't. I'm going to be zeroed in. I'm going to have my notepad. I'm going to be like Colarulo.
Wow.
And my notepad taking notes on every single play. Now, as far as the Phillies go, the teams that are ahead of them, I go, are they really better than the Phillies? Now, there was a point where I'd go, yeah, they are. I think the Dodgers are better than the Phillies. I never thought the Milwaukee Brewers would be better than the Phillies. I never thought the Chicago Cubs would be better than the Phillies. And now I'm not even thinking that the Dodgers are better than, even though those three teams in the power rankings are ranked ahead of the Phillies. Can you make a case that the Phillies are any lesser than those three teams?
Than those three?
Yep. They're the teams that are ranked ahead of them in the power rankings. The Milwaukee Brewers have 68 wins. To me, that's a miracle. They're not 68 wins good, I don't think.
Star-wise, most certainly not. I mean, they're the part of this fan base that wants you just to push the line as a batting order and just try and manufacture runs that way. That would make this fan base happy. That segment of this fan base happy. The Cubs, I can't believe in because of the starting pitching. I'll be honest with you. When we went into the deadline, I think we did this exercise a week ago talking about the Cubs. Yeah. And I said, hey, if they address the starting pitching, I'll be worried about them. Guess what they didn't do? That. So I'm not really concerned about the Cubs as compared to the Phillies. The Dodgers will always concern me. If they get healthy, there's a reason why coming into the season, people, oh my gosh, is this team going to win 110, 115 games? Mm-hmm. Because they're just that good when healthy. But that's the big asterisk there. Are they healthy? And I think Mookie Betts, I don't know if I saw this correct on my timeline. Was he getting a standing O last night for how bad he's been? Them trying to spur him on a little bit.
They Trey Turner him, right?
Yeah, because Betts hasn't had a great season. So there's legitimately, to me, a case to be made that the Phillies and Dodgers are the two, and I'm sorry, the Mets, as much as they can Met, I still look at that back end of the bullpen and the top of that order, and I have to respect them.
All right, so right now, it's Brewers 1, Dodgers 2. Phillies have moved up to the 3 seed, which means they would play the dangerous Padres in the first round. And things stay the same. But the Phillies could very easily ascend to one of those byes right now.
Oh, yeah. I think they can. For sure.
All right. So right now, the Phillies road would be Phillies-Padres at Citizens Bank Park, by the way, first round. And then they would play the second-seeded Dodgers with home field advantage going to L.A.
Oh.
You like that road? You look at it and you go, oh, no, I'm afraid of that road.
Oh, that's a road.
But I'm really not. I think the Phillies are actually going to pass the Dodgers. I think the Phillies are going to rally, and they're going to get that second seed.
Phillies, in terms of the strength of schedule the rest of the way, and I know for some people, what, strength of schedule in baseball? It's just every day. Yeah, I mean, I think they're bottom half, like 17th, like in a positive way. I know the Mets have like the 5th toughest schedule going the rest of the way.
Yep.
So certainly not a bad world to be in for the Phillies to make a run late here. I'd like to see them get hot over this. They got the 3 here against the Orioles. They took care of them last night. Let's pick up a couple here because it's really been that 500 since June 1st number. Really since like the end of June. It's been like win, loss, win, loss, loss. And it's been just kind of the up, down, up, down. I'd like to just see them maybe like a 5-game winning streak.
They've
got so much to ask for?
The next 10 on the road, but 4 of them are against the lousy Nationals. So this will test them. On the road against the Rangers are hot. And the Cincinnati Reds are still in there. They need to win to get into the playoffs. So it'll define what the Phillies are. I think these next 10 games on the road. And Seattle is no easy task at home when they get off the road.
No.
All right, 610-632-0975. We got Devin on the line to talk about the new cornerback. We got a bunch of Schwarber text. You could climb in at 610-632-0975. What do you think? What is your feel-good index right now for Philly sports when you count the Phillies and the Eagles and eliminate the other two? Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies bash past the O's. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies hit 6 home runs and a 13-3 throttling of the Baltimore Orioles. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs, including a grand slam. Bryce Harper, Harrison Bader, Edmundo Sosa, and Weston Wilson all homered in the win. Schwarber was showered with the MVP chance last night and spoke post-game about it.
It just happens. It goes over the fence, and like I said, those are the moments that you take in as a player. That those are special things that happen, and those are things that kind of just go in the back of memory and hold on to those things for a while. But yeah, it was obviously a really cool thing. I appreciate it.
Phillies host the Orioles again tonight, 6:45. Taijuan Walker getting the start for the Phils. We're 2 days away from the Eagles' preseason opener against the Bengals. Last night they traded defensive tackle Thomas Booker IV for cornerback Jacorian Bennett. Bennett immediately jumps into the competition for that second cornerback spot with Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson. This update's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
10:30, Mike Missanelli. Actually, it's Mike D. Switch here. No, I'm Mike D. Switch, and it's the Mike D. Switch show. Right? How about that?
Does that make me Philly?
You're Philly. Oh, brother. In any event, let's get to the text board. A lot of people texting in on Schwarber.
Yeah, we got Brian in Somerton texting here. Put my bet in this morning, Mikey Miss. It's only $20, but at plus 550, why not?
Why not at $20? Yeah.
MVP.
Yeah, listen, if you put more than $20, maybe you'd be disappointed, but it would be nice if he continued this. Suppose he ends up with 60 home runs. If he ends up with 60 home runs, he'll get it.
I'm starting to sweat a little bit, the Howard record.
You don't want him to pass Howard?
I mean, I want him to because it helps the Phillies win games.
Your favorite man.
But it does. It's one of those childhood things that fall. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I'll sweat it a little bit.
Okay.
Do you think he can get it? You think we can get there?
Can he get to 60?
Yeah.
Listen, the way the guy bashes, I mean, he's got it. He's got the meat of the bat on everything he hits. Like, I've never seen anything like it. Like, the barrel of the bat is like even that last when he comes up and everybody's anticipating another home run, and he just rakes a single like at about 115 miles an hour. Everything is on the barrel of the bat. It's phenomenal.
It's amazing. It's amazing to watch.
Everything's on the barrel, and when he lifts it, it's gone. Like, there's never any question anything he hits is going to go out. Like, he doesn't hit fly balls that just carry.
No. Nothing lazy about the way he hits
everything is on the barrel. It's really difficult, folks. Believe me, to hit every ball in the barrel. This guy, every time he gets a hit, it's on the barrel.
So 50 games left. He needs 18 to tie Howard, 19 to break that record.
You think he can get 18 and 50 games left? I think he can.
There's a legitimate possibility we're going to watch the greatest home run season in Phillies history.
It is, listen, the way his swing is just so grooved now, it would not shock me that he continues this pace.
Last September, he hit 10 home runs.
Now, listen, he'll miss some balls. He'll strike out every now and then, but every ball he hits is on the barrel. Have you seen him get cheap hits ever?
No.
He spanks everything.
He does.
All right. What else you got on text board?
We got a texter here, Steve from Haverton. You're ridiculous. Think he's taking 25. He'll be demanding 35 to 45 a year, and Middleton will either pay it or become a Philadelphia villain.
No, he won't get that money. He will not. As a DH, he will not get $35 million. 25 to 30, yeah. I get it. He's a power hitter. But he's a DH, and that holds him back a little bit.
If he gets to 60, I think he's probably somewhere in that 30-something range. I mean, 60 home
30,
runs.
Maybe I can buy 30. I think 25 would get it done. 25 to 30, somewhere in there. But you got to understand, like he's comfortable here too. Like, he likes being here.
Oh, I know. He likes being here. He also probably likes a little bit of green after he hits 50-something homers.
Listen, you make $100 million for the rest of your career.
I know.
That chicken feed.
No.
A guy like Schwarber, a simple guy like that, No,
we need to just make sure he continues to get good yards beer. That's what we need.
Yeah.
As long as he's enjoying his yards beer, enjoying his afternoon, he should be fine.
All right, let's go to Devin. Wants to talk about the new cornerback in town who may turn out to be the starter, Jacorian Bennett. What's up, Devin?
What's up, guys? It's my first time getting on your show. I'm kind of
excited. Buddy. Devin from Missouri. Where are you calling from, Missouri?
Bolivar, Missouri. So I go to school at Missouri State, but we live just 30 minutes north in a small little town. We're out on a little farm.
So you're a Philadelphia native who goes to school out there, or you're just a Missourian?
So my dad's actually from Philly. We've lived everywhere. So I'm originally from Colorado, but we lived in about 7 states.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Oh, yeah. So I'm from all over. But to get to my point, I think Bennett is definitely going to take that, at least the cornerback 2 spot, I think. But to me, it just means DeJean's going to start at safety. Like, it's just Vic Fangio's not sold on anyone. He's not sold on Makuba or Brown. I'm just going to pop him out there. That's what I think.
Well, the other thing is you got to understand that they play nickel a lot. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm not so sure Cooper DeJean will line up at safety. I think he'll be more in nickel. They're in nickel like maybe 80, 90% of the time. So when they go in another formation, maybe he does go back to safety. But he's going to be on the field no matter what.
Yeah, 100%. Just for me, it's either I honestly could even see Bennett getting in there a little bit too, just at training camp, seeing how it works, even in preseason to see if he can. Because to me, it's just if he's not confident, I think the split of camp reps or whatever wasn't very good. Like DeJean was getting most of them at safety, right?
Nah, not really. It was getting him at safety when they were in a base, but not when they were in nickel. So what do you know?
No.
What do you know about Bennett? What do you like about him?
All that all-pro stuff you guys were bringing up. I mean, we got some family that are some Raiders fans, so they're always trying to constantly talk about it. I mean, kid's Agent Zero, wears it for a reason. You got to be good if you're going to wear that number anyways. So.
Okay, I got you. All right, Devin, you take care out there.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, there's Devin from Missouri checking in. First call about Jaquarian and Bennett. Now, listen, he was ranked 185 of 207 as far as tacklers go, cornerback tacklers. Pro Football Focus. But good cover man. Allowed only 4.4 yards per attempt, 0 touchdown passes, didn't have an interception, but he's been banged up. Had torn labrum, had a shoulder problem, and he's a little small.
Which I know he's played a lot outside. People immediately when they hear smaller corner like, oh, could he figure somewhere in that slot?
What is up with Keely Ringo, man? They want him to have the job.
Him and Tyler Steen have been in camp battles the last 3 years, and it's like, well, I guess for Keely it's been the last 2. Steen's been the last 3. It's like they want you to win one of these.
They do.
They want you to be
you
good
got
enough.
the perfect size, the speed. They want you to win the job. You're against Dory Jackson, who the defense coordinator doesn't like very much. Take the job.
How we brought that guy here, not me. When he stinks,
right.
Don't blame me.
Come on, Keely. 610-632-0975. Tony's up next. We'll get to Tony after this.
Do you feel unfulfilled? Do your afternoons feel like
At 12:30, we will have, because this is Pacific time for him, he's a big Hollywood producer, Mike Tolen, sports movie producer extraordinaire who was working on a documentary on Dick Allen and was one of the guys behind the scenes that was always campaigning for Dick Allen to get to the Hall of Fame. He's he's a Philly guy, and Dick Allen was his hero, and he grew up to be a big-time Hollywood movie producer. He'll join us at 12:30 today right here on the show. And I'm talking about one of my favorites, Varsity Blues, Summer Catch. He did The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan 10-part documentary, and he did Coach Carter. Now, I got a tweet on my personal Twitter ripping Ray for never having seen Coach Carter.
Expected.
Ray. Coach Carter is a must.
Add to the
Samuel
list.
L. Jackson as Coach Carter.
Add to the list.
Anyway, that's also a Mike Tolen film. So we'll talk to him at 12:30. All right, back to the text board where we have an anti-Schwarber text. What?
Unnamed first-time texter. Hitting a bunch of home runs is great, but you cannot win MVP of Major League Baseball if you don't contribute in the field some way.
Oh.
The MVP should be a position player and a guy who bats every day with a good batting average, etc.
You mean like Ohtani last year?
What do you mean?
Where did Ohtani play in the field?
That's what I was going to say. I thought you were saying. I thought you agreed with the guy there for a second.
Seriously, does he not know about Ohtani?
Apparently not.
Come on, man. If you're in this day and age, if your numbers are that overwhelming, it's not going to matter your DH. Now, it may matter with your price tag because guys got to pay you based on value.
Where would this Phillies team be without Kyle Schwarber?
Yeah, I don't know where you're like if you're a DH and you have production like he has, you're definitely an MVP candidate, and that's why the smart people list him second right now. The people in Vegas, they know.
I think it's closer than the odds say, though.
Well, the odds are like overwhelmingly Ohtani, right?
Right.
And then what is Schwarber, minus 800 or something?
He's plus 650.
Plus 650.
Or 550, I think he's gotten to now at this
All
point.
right, so what's Ohtani?
Minus 550. Minus something ridiculous.
Oh, so he's a favorite at minus.
Yeah, he's a
Kyle
ridiculous
is a
favorite.
plus.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's plus 550 to minus 650. That's right now what it is on your.
Yeah, that tells me he has no chance to actually get it. But is he a candidate? You're damn right.
I think it should be closer than what it is. Like, what those odds are, I think it's a much closer race than that.
The problem is Ohtani's got the magic. Like, he's Ohtani. He's got the magic. You know, Schwarber doesn't have the magic.
What are we talking about here? They're both playing baseball, both designated
I understand,
hitters.
but you know the perception. It's the great Ohtani. It's never the great Kyle Schwarber.
All right, well, it's time to start running the propaganda machine over here. What are we at here? The guys have been similar production-wise this season.
All right, Mike D. Switch has have something to say about that. Then.
Yeah, when it comes to the MVP
Mike D.
race,
Mike D. Switch is campaigning for Kyle Schwarber. All right, let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Tony in Wilmington. Tony, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Tony.
Hey, man, what's going on?
What's up, Tony?
Listen, man, that last thing about Schwarber, I mean, he absolutely should be an MVP candidate. It's about the most valuable player.
It is.
You know, it's scoring runs. You know, helping your team to win. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yep.
All right, but I'm rooting for Kyle Schwarber to try to break Ryan Howard's record. However, I think sometimes people are overlooking what Ryan Howard did. I mean, he was in the 40-130 club 4 years in a row. He had 40-plus home runs and 130 RBIs for 4 straight years.
Ryan Howard might be the most underappreciated player ever here, really, for what he did. I totally agree with you. He was not appreciated to the extent he should have been.
Yeah, I don't understand that, but I'm loving what Kyle Schwarber's doing. You know, Harper's heating up. He's on fire right now. I'm a little bit concerned, but I'm not going to go too far forward. But I think the last 3 games, I don't think Turner has had a hit.
Turner is slumping. We got to get what his slump is. He has dropped about 25 points from his average. He's in a
Yeah,
slump right now.
man.
You're absolutely right to pick that out.
I was like, listen, man, I was hoping he could harp. I mean, he was on fire. So this is what we need. Both of them be locked in at the same time. And all of a sudden now so I hope he doesn't revert back to what happened before.
Yeah, I know. I think he'll bounce back. I think this team is a good team, man. They're a contending team. I've got no problem.
Man, I think they can. I really think they can win it this year. They got the pitching. You know, they got the pitching. They just got to make sure they get some consistent hitting from your stars. Need your stars to stand up. But I don't think any team in baseball would like to play the way their pitching is.
I hear you. They're going to be right there, bro. That closer that they got made really well-rounded them.
Yes, that was an excellent move. That was an excellent move.
All right, Tone, you take care. There's Tone. Yeah, listen. Can we get the numbers on Turner?
We actually got Texter to the line here. Turner is 3 for his last 33. Ooh. How come he doesn't get ripped?
Ooh. Yeah, he's kind of going under the radar with this slump, but you can look at his average and go, what is he hitting now, like 280?
Yeah, which, a couple weeks ago, that was
he was 301.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fighting it right now.
He's down to
seems to be a little frustrated, too. I can see frustration.
Well, the thing that's bothering me with him right now, and I understand if it's the best pitcher going to get, go after it, but especially Skubal on Saturday, it was almost like this guy right now is pitching lights out. You'd need to try and drive him from this game. The first pitch swinging is a little much for me right now with him. He's driving me a little crazy with that. I understand.
Yeah,
might be the best to get.
I don't mind the first pitch swing.
But he's not.
Especially against Skubal. Skubal's going to be around the strike zone. He's not going to get behind you. So
yeah, but you need to drive him from that game. At that point, you're also not seeing it great for the last couple weeks.
But he's throwing strikes. Like he had 14 balls in his first 54 pitches.
Yeah, I understand. But if right now you're not seeing the ball well and you're not making good contact on the ball, the value for you the rest of the way as the leadoff guy for this lineup is to at least see it.
I'm a first pitchman.
I know.
I'm a first.
I know you're a first pitch guy. Which as soon as I said that, I knew we were going to go back and forth.
I'm a first pitch guy.
But
I not after a guy like walks two or losing command of the strike zone. Then you got to be a little more selective. But a first pitch, a guy's trying to get ahead. Now these pitchers they pitch backwards, so taking a first pitch it's usually a breaking pitch anyway. So I get where you're coming from. But first pitch fastball, man, I'm railing.
Turner since the break. So this is a 16-game sample size right here. 235 batting average, 288 on base, and a 324 slugging percentage.
You wonder when he would get a day off. Speaking of days off, think they would have to give him a day off? That messes up your whole batting order. I get it. Yeah, he looks like he might need a day off.
So the day off lineup without Turner likely starts with Schwarber leading off.
Yeah.
You go in Harper in the two-hole.
Harper in the two-hole.
Three hitter is going to be Real Muto.
I don't know about that. See, it's problematic. We're trying to come up with a lineup without Turner. It's
Casty. I guess if you're going against a righty,
if Bohm is back, maybe when Bohm gets back, you could do that.
Yeah, especially because right now you're sliding Sosa at short. Your infield could be, if you're facing a lefty that day, your infield could be Harper, Wilson, Sosa, Kemp. If you give a day off to Trey Turner to try and get him right, and you're facing a lefty. Which I don't know if you give him a day off against a lefty anyways, but more just going for the hilarity of what that lineup would be. Not great. Not what you're looking for.
Okay. You're not going to have me say anything negative about Weston Wilson, did I?
Oh, I'm sorry. Pro Dub Dub Show?
W-Dub. Go on. Weston Wilson. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies bash past the O's. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies hit 6 home runs and a 13-3 throttling of the Baltimore Orioles. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs, including a grand slam. Bryce Harper, Harrison Bader, Mundo Sosa, and Weston Wilson all got into the fun homering in the win. Schwarber was showered with MVP chants last night. Spoke postgame about it.
It just happens. It goes over the fence. And like I said, those are the moments that you take in as a player, that those are special things that happen, and those are things that kind of just go in the back of memory and hold on to those things for a while. But yeah, it was obviously a really cool thing. I appreciate it.
Phillies host the Orioles again tonight at 6:45 with Taijuan Walker on the mound. We're 2 days away from the Eagles' preseason opener against the Bengals. Last night they traded defensive tackle Thomas Booker for cornerback Ja'Cory Bennett. Bennett immediately jumps into the competition for the second cornerback spot with Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson. This update is brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Need more data so you can stream your Jam mix on loop? Switch to Straight Talk and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at straighttalk.com or Walmart. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Missanelli show. Well, there was a report that I just read that it's on NBA Central, not NBA Centel, NBA Central. And they picked up something that was on a website called Clutch Points. Are you familiar with Clutch Points, right?
I am.
Okay, so this is the report that Clutch Points put out. Joel Embiid's knee is reportedly in bad shape, and he's likely to miss the start of training camp. Some around the league believe the Sixers regret extending him. Oh, really? They regret it? It was their idea. As I talked about yesterday, my sources tell me that Embiid was shocked that they offered him the extension. Anyway, this report goes on. Embiid has struggled getting back on the court this offseason, and there is a growing concern that he will not be ready for the start of training camp. The common word associated with Embiid and his health this offseason is that things are, quote, bad. Several rival teams in the Eastern Conference who spoke with Clutch Points a couple of weeks ago at the NBA Summer League confirmed mixed signals coming from the Sixers regarding Embiid's knee health. Uh-huh. Would I be shocked? Would we all be shocked if he retired?
Right now?
Yeah.
If it came out today, I'd be surprised.
You would?
Yeah.
If it came out at the start of training camp, would you be surprised?
Yeah.
That he just can't get it done?
I'd be surprised
if these reports are true.
This offseason if it happened. Yes.
Okay. Another thing to look forward to, eh? He's going to miss training camp. Paul George is going to miss training camp. But we're all going to be good because you got that young talent in the backcourt. I just, it's like somebody stabbed me with a barbecue fork. Boing! It's like sticking out of me with this Sixer team.
Yeah, you got almost an hour about feeling good.
I'm just flummoxed. Sounds like I got to get some on my lip. All right. Go back to the text board. Phillies text coming in. What do we got?
All right. A texter here. At what point is it time to slide Schwarber into the 3-hole behind Harper? I know Harper likes hitting behind Schwarber to see pitches, but has he not earned the right to potentially have more runners on base when he hits these bombs?
Nah, why would you mess with that? Right now, both of them are going good. Like, why would you mess with that? Nah.
Yeah, I'm also not messing with that. Honestly, when I opened the text, I thought that they were going to advocate the other way in the lineup. I thought they were going to slide Turner down in the lineup.
Yeah, but who? You want Schwarber leading off?
That's where I thought that text was going. It's not where that text went.
No, I think right now, Bohm comes back, you slot him in, and he's pretty close, right? Week maybe for Bohm.
It seems like it's close because it said he felt the best he did. I think that was yesterday. So he hit from the cage. Or for batting machine, I think. So, yeah, maybe a week. We'll get to mid-August.
All right, so let me ask you this question. It's Weston Wilson a home run. You think Weston Wilson has more natural power than Otto Kemp?
So it's interesting. I think his OPS is now over Otto Kemp's.
All right, that's why I asked you this question. So when you're going to platoon now 3 positions. Now, that seems outlandish, but remember, the Phillies did that in 1993 and wound up going to the World Series.
Yeah, I don't have as big a problem as a lot of people do.
Okay, so 3-way platoon without Crawford coming up. Bader, Marsh, Kepler, Dub.
Bader, Marsh, Kepler, Dub. Well, yeah, that's Kepler still being on the team.
With Kemp being the odd man out, I guess. But you're going to keep Kemp on the team, so that means Wilson has. That's the thing. If they think Wilson has more pop to be the left fielder, where would they go? It's the Mike Missanelli Show. It's WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. See what I'm talking about there? Is it possible that Kemp would be in danger?
There's a solid argument to suggest that Kemp should be in danger of the two of them. Like, the one thing, Weston Wilson, outside of obviously the struggles hitting the baseball, he does, and it's a small sample size, but he has walked more than Kemp has. The chase rate is solid for him when you look at that compared to Kemp. And again, these are small sample size, but these are things that I think they would look at to say, hey, yeah, maybe Weston Wilson does deserve that spot. Do you feel like Otto Kemp's defense is that much better at so many positions than Weston Wilson to justify him being on this roster as compared to Weston Wilson?
Let me stop you right now. Kepler Wilson, I'm a no-go on.
So you're lining up on Kemp.
No, I'm not even. I'm talking about bringing Crawford up, and to me, that solidifies it a little more. Where you got Crawford, and then you got Bader, Marsh. To me, that's a better team. It's a better solution, a better scenario.
Well, yeah, there's a better scenario with Crawford, but just to play this thought process out here, if we're talking about Kemp Wilson, I think it's a lot closer than people would want to admit on Kemp going down than as compared to Wilson.
I can't do it. I can't have Kemp or Wilson face a left-hander in the playoffs. I'm sorry. I just can't.
I understand that.
I can't.
The other side of that is, I mean, one of them probably will stay. That they won't platoon with Crawford. But I can't imagine them carrying Crawford, Marsh, and Kepler on this roster. So Kepler is likely the guy to go. Like, whenever they decide Crawford's here and he's here to play, Kepler's role in this team is entirely diminished. Unless they go with the wild world where you end up having a field platoon between Kepler and Castellanos. I doubt they go that way.
They can't possibly think that they could platoon in left field with Kepler or Wilson Kemp. They can't possibly think that, can they?
No.
Like if you're evaluating, your better team has Crawford in the outfield and you platoon Bader and Marsh.
Probably.
Right? Or sometimes, if you don't want to play Crawford every day, you throw Marsh in center field for a day, and then you trust Bader against a right-hander because he hit that home run off the right-hander, right?
Yeah, well, the thing is with his splits, you're not really, like, he is not a ideal candidate for a platoon role.
Yeah.
The thing, and the morning show got into this a little bit, the Gelb story from this weekend about the outfield had this idea that I don't think they're going to go with, but is at least interesting. The fact that Gelb, as plugged in as he is, felt like there was enough smoke behind it to write about it, was Castellanos' struggles against righties.
Yes.
And how they view his long-term place in that outfield, which the guy complained about defensive replacement. I can only imagine he's going to go kicking and screaming into a platoon, so I don't think it ends up happening. But the Crawford left field or Crawford center, wherever you think he fits better, whether the Phillies feel like Bader's better center fielder than Crawford's better center fielder. If you looked at Crawford as left field, just for the sake of this conversation, is there a world where it's Bader Marsh platooning in center and Castellanos in right? Or is there a world where Bader's your center fielder and Marsh Castellanos is your platoon in right field?
Oh, cool. Castellanos not going to like that.
No, he's not going to like it.
You might have misery you have to deal with in the clubhouse.
He's going to be miserable to do it. But it's not the way I think you can go because of the personality, and we see just how much they respect in that clubhouse, the veterans, and we see what they want to get these guys every day.
I'm going to take my chances with Castellanos. I'm not going to platoon him. Because you're talking about a home run bat, an occasional home run bat.
Yeah.
I'm not going to platoon him.
I gotcha.
I can't do that. Even though I don't like him that much, I still can't do it.
You won't be able to do it because I think you lose Castellanos entirely in that scenario.
Yeah.
And I think that's a detriment to this team. I will say, if they were to go the Crawford, Bader, and then platoon and right situation, you would have a center fielder that has a higher slugging percentage than Castellanos since May 1st.
Okay.
It's not something that I think I would be drastic enough to do, but the fact that Matt Gelb wrote about it is kind of wild with where their line of thinking could be for this outfield right now and how drastic they would want to be. Also shows you that I think this offseason we finally get the Castellanos trade because I think they're done with it, this experience.
You think so?
I think. I mean, if they're talking about platooning him, $20 million guy, they're platooning him going to the last year of his deal.
Poor Casti. He has a lot of fans here. A lot of Castellano fans out there. Well, I was talking to a friend of mine. He's my favorite player. He gives him grit. I go, really?
Wow.
All right. Gives him grit. Okay.
TechSport apparently came alive for him this morning, too.
Really?
In defense of him when they brought up this Gelb story.
Yeah, people like him. I don't know why, but they like him.
Maybe that series against the Braves in 2023?
I don't know what it is. I have the opposite reaction when I look at him. But people really like him. Some people really like him. Most of the people really like him.
I would say I don't think this is Castellanos' favorite show.
No.
Because I don't think either you or I are big fans.
No, I don't know why I'm not a big fan. Like I look at him and I go, yeah. Whatever. All right, 610-632. There's some things that I can't explain about myself, and that's one of them. Like little things bother me about him, and I really can't put my thumb on the one main thing that bothers me.
I got a couple.
What do you got?
His range in the outfield.
Yeah, but every time I see him, he catches it. Like I look out there, I go, okay, he makes some catches.
Yeah, when they're hit to him.
I don't like the way he runs.
Leads to part of his range.
Got his arms high. Like Missanelli show continues.
The summer's here, and you know what that means.
$975, that's how you get in. We got YouTube chat going, though, which Ray monitors diligently every day. What's the chat saying about the outfield, Ray?
All right, the chat here is giving their outfield alignments, what they're looking for from the outfield the rest of the way. And believe it or not, Justin Crawford, an incredibly popular guy with these people. Mm-hmm. I think everyone in this town is just dying to see Crawford at this point. But the way that a number of people are lining this one up, Dan Berman wants Marsh, Bader, Casty. Colby wants Crawford, Bader, Casty. The last cup here wants Crawford in left, Bader in center, Casty in right. Neil wants Crawford in left, Bader in center, Casty in right. Does put in parentheses both Bader and Crawford be 5 days a week. And
So that's the regular outfield with that platoon. They want Crawford to be the regular left field, Bader be regular in center, and Castellanos in right.
correct.
No platoon.
No platoon.
No Marsh. Anywhere.
Marsh, I guess, is playing some combination of the 2 days a week that probably ends up playing 4 days a week
With Bader.
Crawford, or 3 days a week with Bader and Crawford playing 5 days.
They switch it around.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
No
Marsh sees
right-handed
his
hitter
role-
against no right-handed left fielder against left-handed pitching.
I guess maybe Bader would slide to left, Marsh plays center, or Marsh
So
goes into left against.
So
but he wouldn't
you
play
would
against
have
the
one lefty against a lefty.
Yeah, it would have to
the
be either
time.
Crawford or Marsh
So
against
no
lefty.
Kempe.
No.
And no Dubs.
Believe it or not, nobody's calling for more Otto Kemp or Weston Wilson.
No more Otto Kemp. Has Otto Kemp lost his fans here? Has he surrendered his fans to Dub?
I don't think he surrendered his fans to Dub. I think both of them became knowns, and everyone's looking to the unknown of Justin Crawford like, oh.
Is there no longer a buzz for Otto Kemp? There was a little bit of a buzz at one point.
Yeah, there was.
No more buzz?
No, I think the buzz is over.
Oh,
I think we've seen the moment come and go.
all right.
Marsh, Bader, Castellanos, leave Crawford where he is for now. He has no power. That's the latest we got from the YouTube
I don't
chat.
care about his lack of power. See, okay, like right now, putting some diversity in your lineup, I think could be good for your lineup. All right, you can't have everything. He doesn't have power. Right now, he doesn't have power. Puts the ball in play. It's on. I'm good with that. He's like a really good Ben Revere.
That'd be nice.
By the way,
You saw Ben Revere was there?
yeah, little Benny dribbler.
Mm-hmm.
Things you didn't know about Harrison Bader.
Okay.
You know, Harrison Bader, his nickname is Tots.
Why is that?
I don't know. His nickname is Tots, T-O-T-S. He's from Bronxville, New York.
Bader Tots?
Maybe Bader Tots. He's from Bronxville, New York. Both of his parents are from Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. His father's Jewish. His mother is Sicilian.
Huh.
He is the first cousin of Vampire Weekend bassist Chris Bio. Have you ever heard of Vampire Weekend?
No.
You've never heard of Vampire Weekend?
No. Would I know any of their songs?
They were yes. They have a lot of songs out. They're all from Columbia University, I believe. Chris Bio. He's also the first cousin removed of actor Scott Bio, Chachi from Happy Days.
Wow.
Things you didn't know about Harrison Bader.
Well, now you're in on him. Good. Glad to hear.
He signed the University of Pittsburgh a letter of intent, backed out of it, tried to sign with Maryland. They didn't offer him a scholarship. He wound up in Florida. And hence the story of Harrison Bader was written.
That worked out pretty good for him.
There you go.
Like, no offense to the Pitt people out there, but it doesn't work out at Pitt. You think you're going to Maryland, you end up in Florida instead?
Only got a partial scholarship to go to Florida. Had a full one at the University of Pittsburgh. Didn't like it, went to Maryland. No scholarship. Florida offers him partial.
That's not bad. I mean, I probably would have enjoyed Florida.
But his nickname, now that we know, is Tots.
Mike, do you know where he made his professional debut in baseball?
Where did he make his professional debut?
He made it with the State College Spikes.
Get out of here. He played for the Spike. That's right. They were the Cardinals' farm team.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right there in the park that they built after I left Penn State. When all of us left Penn State, all of a sudden they had the money to build a new stadium. Instead, we're playing on a cornfield.
Story of Mike Missanelli.
I'm a little bitter about that.
Are you? I can't tell.
Actually, the stadium is named after my baseball coach there. Medler Field.
Oh,
There you go.
there you go.
But that's what. Yeah, you're right. The Spikes played there,
yeah.
and I don't know what to. I think it's a Pirates farm team now, not the Cardinals.
They are right now, I believe, the MLB Draft League
Okay.
because they were one of the ones that lost affiliation.
Oh, they did.
Yes.
These are Phillies. So Harrison Bader lived in State College for a bit.
Yes.
There
you think
you
he
go.
heard any stories about you while he was up there?
He must have.
Probably.
He had to. Anybody who lives in State College must have heard the legend of Mike the Switch. What else? I'm sorry, I can't get that out of my head. What's going on with the text board?
We got John Mars checking in here saying that it's time to option Weston Wilson to AAA, Crawford, Bader, Casty, Marsh off the bench, Otto off the bench, and most importantly, send Kepler out to Iowa or some other farm in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, everybody wants to get rid of Kepler. I think that's going to come soon enough, but only if they bring in Crawford. So I'm trying to figure out now, because Weston Wilson hit the home run last night, who people favor at this point as a right-handed bat who might be able to play. Or is it Dub? What side are we on?
Screw it. Let's go back to Dub, man.
Hey, come on. I can't deal with either of them.
No, neither of them are part of the legitimate platoon.
I can't.
But this platooning thing, it goes to the point where this platooning thing right now, while you're not bringing up Crawford, is a load of crap. It is. It's stupid. It's incredibly dumb.
Well, go ahead. Keep going. Why is
you have Bader, who's played every day all season. So I don't need him platooned while Kepler's on this
love yourself some Bader, man.
Compared to what?
I don't know, but why do you love Bader?
But compared to who? You're telling me that Weston Wilson, Otto Kemp aren't Major League players. All right, if you believe that, then take them out of the equation here. Has Kepler looked like a Major League hitter? No, take him out of the equation. Given the outfielders on this team right now, Bader should play every day.
All right, I will allow that I'm more comfortable with Bader than either Kemp or Wilson.
Right, and there's your right-handed options around Castellanos. Like that's what I'm telling you. To me, it's not rocket science what you have here right now.
What did your friend say about Bader?
Oh, he was like he's dressed like the guy who shows up at Little League to play second base, and he's just there because his parents bought him all the gear. Shout out Kevin on that one.
He's got all the gear. He does have all the gear.
It's like I can't stand the way that guy looks.
All the protective arm stuff. He used purple gloves. Is he going to change colors on gloves every game now?
I hope. It's entertaining to me.
He went shocking pink to purple. He's got the long curly locks.
I go lime green today. I think lime green is what.
Does he have the eye black? Does he do the eye black?
Not yet.
Not yet. Does he?
I think what. Now I gotta. Not focused on.
He's an interesting character.
He is.
He looks like a muscle dude too. He looks like he's got the stout upper body with the small legs.
He's done it before, and he did do the eye. He's done the eye black here so far.
Has he?
Yeah.
All right. So there you go. He's got all the moves. 610-632-0975. On the other side, how many pillows should a single guy like Ray Dunn have on his bed? An odd question, but we'll have the answer.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies bash past the O's. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies hit 6 home runs and a 13-3 throttling of the Baltimore Orioles. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs, including a grand slam. Bryce Harper, Harrison Bader, Edmundo Sosa, and Weston Wilson all homered in the win. Schwarber was showered with MVP chants last night and spoke postgame about it.
It just happens. It goes over the fence, and like I said, those are the moments that you take in as a player. Those are special things that happen, and those are things that kind of just go in the back of memory and hold on to those things for a while. But yeah, it was obviously a really cool thing. I appreciate it.
Phillies host the Orioles again tonight at 6:45 with Taijuan Walker on the mound. We are 2 days away from the Eagles' preseason opener against the Bengals. Last night they traded defensive tackle Thomas Booker IV for quarterback Jacorian Bennett. Bennett immediately jumps into the conversation for the second cornerback spot with Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson. This report is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Need better sleep? Upgrade to a premium bed now and get the rest you deserve at Mattress Firm's best sale of the year. They make sleep easy. I'm Ray Dunn in your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
11:24, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. You know, Nick Sirianni spoke today. He didn't speak last week. He was a little under the weather, and thank God those trainers got him ready to actually make that practice there. But he didn't say much today. He was kind of like effusive in praise for everybody, really. So let's give you a little taste of Nick, Ray. And first of all, I love the way he lauded his coaches. So let's start with Nick Sirianni. We're talking about all the guys who've had good camp and the reasons why they've had good camp, mainly the assistant coaches. Nick Sirianni 3, Ray.
Yeah, I think obviously you've seen Jordan Davis have really good camp so far. You've seen Morrow have a really good camp. Jalen Carter's back, obviously, and doing really, really well. I think Byron Young's has done well. The whole group's done well. Gabe, again, just I feel like that group's done a really good job, and Howie does a great job again at getting guys in here. And I can't say enough about our position coaches. You know, Clint Hurt is one of the best position coaches in the NFL. I mean, he does our job as coaches is to develop those guys, right? Get talented players in here, and then our job is to develop them. And I think you've seen that from a lot of our guys, whether that's Bobby King, I've mentioned him before, Clint Hurt, Stout. You know, I think Scott Leffler's doing an excellent job. I mean, I'd love to go through every one of those guys, but I feel like we have position coaches that really do a good job of developing the talent. I don't think that gets talked about enough. Just the job that our assistant coaches, position coaches have done of getting these guys to play good football. You know, it's a team, right? So it's getting the right guys in here, getting good players in here, the right guys in here, and then developing that talent. I think it's worked really well. We'll continue to try to do that.
The smooch for Howie. Get a little smooch in there for Howie. He seems to get that in there every now and then. But he did speak highly of Clint Hurt. He mentioned Bobby King, Scott Leffler, Stout, all those guys. Yeah, they have a good staff. There's no question they have a good staff.
For sure. I mean, I think right now their defensive backs coach, Christian Parker, is going to be a defensive coordinator by next season. I don't think he'll be here again next season. I think just the interest that seemed like the league had in this past coaching cycle, I don't think he'll be here.
You're probably right. All right. He also talked about Howie making the final calls on players here, huh? You go through camp, and some guys have to stay, some guys have to go. It's usually the coaching staff. In what capacity do you say Howie will make the final call on players? Let's go to Nick Sirianni 5.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, Howie and I have to make those decisions of who's playing. Obviously, I listen to input from all our coaches, what they think and what they're feeling. But at the end of the day, just like everything, I got to make some final decisions. But yeah, we talk through everything. I guess what you're looking for when you play a game like this is that you're looking at all your habits. When the pressure's high and the stakes are high, that all your habits come to life, right? And so you want to see good tackling, you want to see good ball security, you want to see good takeaway ability, you want to see good blocking, you want to see good block destruction, you want to see smart situational football. You want to see all those different things right there.
Well, he didn't actually say how he will make the final call on players. That's what's on the sheet here. But, okay.
I mean, he said that Howie's going to help him decide who's playing this week, which I think is something that probably happens more than we talk about, like in terms of the preseason.
Yeah.
But there is an aspect of just how involved Howie Roseman is in every single thing they do.
Yeah. Well, he had a double smooch for Howie because a little later, Nick Sirianni 9 was
Howie's the best in the world at what he does, and really it's really awesome to work with him every day and go through that go through everything, every day-to-day things with him. And so I just think he does a great job and it works for us.
Smoochy smooch again, right?
We should count how many times throughout from the first availability, which he had Wednesday the 23rd, and we missed him at the end of last week, so we got to go back and see him at the beginning of the previous week. This is the third time we've heard from Sirianni, and the first time he was next to Howie Roseman. We should count from all these availabilities the number of times we get that in almost exact 15-second clip, because I do feel like it happens almost every presser.
He gets the peck in there.
He wants to make sure
question
everybody
about it.
knows. I don't think anyone's questioning whether or not Howie's the best at what he does.
Yeah, while we're at it, I must say that our program director here, Scott Messler, does a great job here. And I think he's the best in the world at what he does. Everything he does helps the team here.
And I'd like to point out that Mike Missanelli is the best at what he does. And I really do appreciate all that Mike does for us to put us in a position to succeed.
And while we're at it, I want to thank Mike D. Switch as well.
I also want to thank Mike Vito for all that he does for this place as well. Let's throw Paul Blake in there while we're at it.
Oh, sure. Paul Blake is the best at what he does.
And I appreciate all that you do for us as well.
There you go. All right, let's get back to the text board and see what we have going on here. And then I'll get to your pillow situation.
All right, we got some people chiming in on the Sixers from what you said earlier.
Oh, okay.
The retirement conversation with Embiid. Mike, can retirement be the best thing for the Sixers? He's a black cloud over the organization. Started with a wasted draft pick, also known as the fraud process, and will end with Embiid retired. Bring on the young kids and get this fan base excited again.
I'm just musing here, but would you be shocked if that happened?
Again, this offseason, yeah.
You would.
So.
Coming into training camp that he just says, nah, you know what, can't go. I'm going to retire. And they come to some kind of an injury settlement with him.
It's hard for me to believe that it would be this year. If it goes the way it went last year, the way people expect for this year, I could see next year.
You're going to milk another year out of this knee situation?
He called this the most important offseason of his life.
Yeah, but the reports are saying he hasn't. We haven't heard any reports at basketball activities. This report saying he can't get on the court. His knee is bad. Like, what gives? Like, what's going to happen that's going to make him play?
So, understandably, there should be concern about where his knee's at. And when he mentioned that there wasn't a timetable in the story that we went over a couple weeks ago, I get that. I will say this, I saw this pop up. I saw this report pop up from Clutch Points. And I don't know Brett Siegel, who reported this story. Mm-hmm. So it's nothing against him personally. But I do kind of question who's the people within the league saying this? Is it someone in the league was like, yeah, I don't know what's happening with that Embiid thing. It can't be good given the way last year went. And it's like, okay, yeah, I got that from one person. And another person was like, yeah, the Embiid situation's interesting. I imagine his knee is not what they want it to be. And there are certain people when it comes to Embiid that I listen to intently when they're talking about Joel Embiid. And there's some people in the league that it's like, okay, yeah, in August, you can say that we're worried about Embiid's knee because Embiid a month ago said that there was no timetable for his return. Like, I don't necessarily look at this as the holy grail of Embiid reports.
Okay.
I'm concerned about it as well, and I think you're justified to be concerned about it. This story hasn't changed my concern level one bit.
All right. So do you think he's going to be ready for training camp? Do you think he'll miss training camp?
Oh, and he said...
Do you think he'll miss the first part of the season? Like, what are we thinking could possibly happen here?
When he said his own timetable, I'm sure I'm not seeing him in training.
No training camp. So that means he'll miss the start of the season.
Right. We might be doing the ramp-up thing again.
He'll ramp up for another month as the season's going on.
I don't know what to make of what his timeline is for them. There's a chance. Like, if you went level of surprise, retiring, very surprised. Us talking in training camp about where Embiid is and why he isn't on the floor, not at all surprised.
I am exhausted by the Joel Embiid situation. I'm exhausted. I don't know what else to say. I'm tired. We have to talk about this all the time now. Are people exhausted? Aren't you exhausted? I mean, this smacks to the level of attention that the fans in this city give to the Sixers. And it's like it's always a negative attention. Somebody's got to reverse the fortunes of this. Mr. Owner has to do something. You just can't let things just go on the way they go on and put your fan base through this nonsense every year. Oh, boy. All right, Ray. We're going to pick this up on the other side of the break. You just made a move. You asked a very interesting question on our show sheet.
Mm-hmm.
And the show sheet is the proper number of pillows for a single adult man to have on his bed. For somebody like you, it's only 2. But in general, you got to have two shams. You got to have your two pillows, but you got to have the two shams to dress it up a little bit, don't you think?
So I have been the two pillow guy, but I've been shamsless.
Okay.
I have now gone to a 4 pillow setup.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm looking for the 5th sham. But is that 5th too much?
It is too much. For a guy your age, what do you want? To dress it up, the middle pillow? You'll have the two pillows you sleep on, the two shams, and then the one pillow in the middle to dress it up a little bit?
Yes.
I don't think that's necessary for you.
You don't believe it's necessary?
No.
Well,
That's necessary if you're living with somebody, a woman, and she will sham it up that way.
Would that be a relationship adult man who's not living with that person?
No.
Do you still need the sham?
A non-relationship guy like yourself,
Correct.
who brings somebody into a relationship, that person will be satisfied with just the two shams and not the middle pillow.
Got it.
She may then, therefore, influence you later to add the 5th pillow, the 5th little fancy chamois.
I get kind of anti the piling on of pillows. I think that as a society, we've made
It's ridiculous.
the pillow thing too much.
Because you got to throw off 7 of them to get a good night's sleep.
This is exactly where I wanted this conversation to go.
Absolutely. You'll find these in high-end bed and breakfast places, hotels. You get sham after sham after sham, and you wind up discarding going on the floor anyway.
Right. I think that the 5th was where I was starting to draw the line for myself.
Right now, the 5th, you should draw the line. But you're close to a 5th.
I think the 5th is where the line should be drawn, though, for most people.
Yes.
I don't think you need more than 5 pillows on a bed.
No, you don't. You absolutely do not.
But I'm curious because we had the YouTube chat was going. I'm sure the text line is going to go on this. On what is the proper amount for a single adult man?
Well, I'm a single adult man. I only have 4.
And I have 4.
I got 2 shams. I don't have the 5th. And I use one of the shams as a leg pillow.
Oh. Well, you right now.
I need a leg pillow. I need it between the knees these days to keep my spine in a proper alignment.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm going with the 4. I was thinking about the 5th, but this conversation was going to influence the purchase of a 5th.
You don't
A
need
5th pillow, to be clear.
Yeah, well,
I don't want people to think I'm.
You're going to go to Home Goods and select one?
Well, that's it. I don't really want to.
Go to Home Goods and grab yourself a 5th one. There you go.
All right.
Yeah. 6-1. What a ridiculous conversation.
Listen, you have rules for everything. I figured you had a pillow rule.
No. I agree with you that we're overdone with the bed pillows. The society has overdone the bed pillows to spruce up a bed.
And that is where I want this conversation.
Yes, I agree with that. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Hey, everybody, it's Bill Colarulo, and coming up at 2 o'clock on Unfiltered, a big win for the Philadelphia Phillies last night.
Today, getting into a lot. Obviously, that Phillies outfield. Wonderful game last night. Kyle Schwarber entering the MVP conversation. The Eagles made a trade, too. I don't know if you guys heard.
Yeah, they really did. I don't usually go to the snack machine. But when I do, I always like, what could be my top 5 snacks that you get out of a vending machine? Peanut butter crackers is definitely number 1.
Oh, really?
For me, yeah. What is wrong with the peanut butter cracker? The Lance Toast Cheese is what I'm talking about specifically. The Toast Cheese cracker.
Listen, I like a good peanut butter cracker. Don't get me wrong. Out of our vending machine, I don't know if it cracks my top 5.
Really? What? So I got M&M peanuts second.
Okay, solid.
I got a Fig Bar third.
What?
Underrated item. A Fig Bar with a cup of coffee. Not a bad item.
3 inside of that machine?
Yes, and I'll go regular potato chips. And I'll go granola bar. You have none of those on your list?
No. All right, I'm not looking.
All right, that's my top 5. Peanut butter crackers, M&M peanut, Fig Bar, potato chips, granola bar. For snack.
All right. Working my way backwards from 5 to 1 out of our vending machine on this side of the building. At number 5, I can interchange the peanut butter M&Ms, but the regular M&Ms for me will probably be 5.
You going reg M&Ms?
Yeah, regular.
Okay.
Cool Ranch Doritos coming in at 4.
See, most people would go Cool Ranch.
So Cool Ranch.
I'm not a Dorito man.
Why?
I don't know. I got sick of Doritos. I used to eat them a lot when I was younger. I just got kind of it's too much flavor in a Dorito.
I grow worried about especially working here, about the dust on the hands.
Yeah.
I don't like inconveniencing someone else's workspace.
But the flavor overpowers you.
That's what I love about it.
It's too much.
I like real good, powerful flavor.
All right. You gotta have a soft drink with that, though.
Yeah, so I'm pounding the water here.
Yeah, water. The water doesn't wait. You gotta have a sweet balance with the Dorito.
A little Sprite action.
Yeah. What's your number 3?
All right, number 3, Oreos. The mini Oreos in there. They got the mini Oreos bag.
Yeah.
Ooh, crush that.
Oreos are not in my wheelhouse.
Ooh, massively in my wheelhouse. Big fan of the Oreo.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, the jalapeno chips in there. A little spice.
That's not a bad item. The jalapeno chips I can ride with.
Absolutely love.
And what's your number 1?
Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its. You know what? Cheez-Its is probably on my list too. I'll replace the granola bar with Cheez-Its, but I gotta have my Fig Bar every now and then.
So I've had the Fig Bar from that machine because I struggle with the whole breakfast thing.
Yeah.
And for a while there, the Fig Bar was a once or twice a week purchase for me alongside the cup of coffee. So it's good. I don't want to downplay.
Fig Bar,
it's
very underrated.
But it's not a top 5 for me. Can't be in my top 5.
Would you agree it's underrated?
Yes.
Most people go Fig Bar.
Well, when I heard it was 3 for you, I had the Fig Bar reaction as well because putting it in the top 5 is a little much for me. But I can understand the love for it.
See, the fact that they put it in the machine should indicate the love for it. Because they wouldn't put anything in a machine that doesn't sell.
Well, to be fair, I think I'm a part of why they put it in the machine because there was a solid few month stretch there where I was the one
You were
buying
going
them.
Fig Bar?
Yeah. I'm bad with the breakfast.
Did you grow up on Fig Newtons?
No.
Never ate Fig Newtons?
I've eaten them. I just didn't grow up on them.
What was your go-to cookie growing up?
The Oreo.
Oh, the Oreo.
A big Oreo guy. Big Oreos, man.
All right. We got Greg and Bethlehem checking in?
We do.
We do, and we have a lot of text on the pillows. Let's get a text on the pillow before we go to Greg.
We got people listing out their numbers here. So I got a whole list of numbers.
Okay.
So we'll start with Quinn in Jersey, who texted in 28-year-old single man. Want to make that clear. 5 for him. He has the setup that I was describing. Now, down the YouTube chat, we got some people chiming in with different numbers. Money Mar going with 7. MBD going with 6. Dawood and Joseph and Brian all agree 4 is the proper number. Randy also throwing a 6 in there. Andrew going with just 2.
Yeah. 2 is passe. You can't go just 2 anymore. But, it's funny. You've ever stayed at a friend's house, like if you stay at another couple's house, like you're on somebody you visit, and they have a guest bedroom for you? Invariably, it'll be 8 pillows.
So I literally had this happen last Friday.
All right, so you know what I'm talking about.
This is a part of what spurred this as well.
Okay.
friends of mine, a couple just moved in together. They've got their room. They got 2 bedrooms. The second one's the guest bedroom.
Yeah.
And I stayed over, and I just spent the night like taking pillows off steadily by steadily, and then you have to remake the bed. You don't know how they put the pillows up there, and I'm freaking out like I'm going to be this disorganized.
But then you feel bad that you have to put the pillows on the floor because I put this beautiful sham on the floor. It's a dirty floor. Like, what do I do with these pillows? It's invariably 8 pillows.
It was like 8 pillows.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't need 8 pillows.
Yeah,
I barely
and
need 2.
it's God bless them because they try to dress up the room and it's a guest room and they pile a bunch of pillows on it because they don't use it. It just looks nice with the 8. So you go in there and use it and you got to discard pillows.
Yeah. It's like 1 in the morning. I'm not being careful here. I'm just trying to get the pillows off.
I hear you.
Fall asleep.
The pillow dilemma.
It is, which is why I felt this was very talkable conversation.
Greg, you hang on because we're up against the break. Then we got the news and new coming. But we'll get to Greg and keep your text coming in on these various wacky subjects that we talk about every day. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies bash past the O's. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies hit 6 home runs, the 13-3 throttling of the Baltimore Orioles. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs, including a grand slam. Bryce Harper, Harrison Bader, Edmundo Sosa, and Weston Wilson all got in on the fun, homering in the win. Schwarber was showered with MVP chants last night and spoke post-game about it.
It just happens. It goes over the fence, and like I said, those are the moments that you take in as a player. That those are special things that happen, and those are things that kind of just go in the back of memory and hold on to those things for a while. But yeah, it was obviously a really cool thing. I appreciate it.
The Phillies host the Orioles again tonight at 6:45 with Taijuan Walker on the mound. We are 2 days away from the Eagles' preseason opener against the Bengals. Last night they traded defensive tackle Thomas Booker IV for cornerback Ja'Cory Bennett. Bennett immediately jumps into the conversation for that second cornerback spot with Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson. This update is brought to you by AAA Tire and Auto Service. Visit your local AAA Tire and Auto Service location. Save $40 on any repair of $150 or more. This offer valid through August 1st through August 30th. See store for complete details. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Against the Orioles, they are a minus 145 favorite with Taijuan Walker going against Dean Kremer. Taijuan Walker getting Kremer's ERA on the road is 5.37. I guess you got to back Taijuan Walker tonight. Are you feeling Taijuan Walker with a big night?
Feeling a big night down at the ballpark. I was rooting so hard last night for them to blow them out when it got to 6-3 because I was like, let Duran be available for Tuesday night. I want to see him in person. I want to see the intro in person.
Oh, you're going tonight.
I'm going tonight. So I'm feeling good, of course.
All right. Well, maybe the Phillies can be up by 2 runs in the ninth.
Please. I'm begging for it. It's weird. It's like weird to be rooting for, like, I want you to beat them, but I don't want you to beat them by too much.
You can't. They can't be up by 4. Right? They can't be up by 4 in the top of the ninth.
Now, there is a part of me that would love, obviously I'd love to see him, but if I don't get to see him, I'd be interested to see the day game tomorrow, seeing him run out there in the light and how it looks in the daytime and how that whole show goes.
You don't want that.
Well, I mean, I feel like we need to see it once just to understand what it's going to look like. Is he only going to be a pitcher that pitches at night for the rest of his career? Is Strahm the daytime closer?
Well, no.
Kirk Rings your daytime.
But you just negate the whole cell phone light.
That's what I'm saying. It's unfortunate, but he's going to have to close the day game at some point. I want to see it happen.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Greg in Bethlehem checking in. What's up, Greg? You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's happening?
I guess it's still good morning, isn't it? Yeah.
It is good morning. It's 11:56. Yep.
There we go. Still qualifies. Mm-hmm. You know, I think I always decided on the number of pillows depending on what I thought was necessary for yoga practice. But, you know, it's a personal choice.
What? You do yoga?
Well, yeah.
Good for you, man. That's awesome.
Well, it's helpful to be flexible at times.
It is. You know, my daughter is a world supreme yoga instructor. And
really?
Yes, and I don't do yoga, which is a violation on my part.
Well, I have to say I'm not very good at it. I worked out too much when I was younger, and I'm a little bulky to do a lot of it.
Yeah, it's tough to get in those positions. I've done it before. I didn't follow up on it.
Right. Yeah. Well, as far as the Phillies go, you know, with the recent acquisition of that closer, my expectations for this season is they're going to ring the bell at the end. I really had questions, but when they got the closer, that for me it completes the loop.
It gives them a whole new dimension. There's no question. A whole new dimension with that guy.
Yeah. I mean, I've been on cloud 9 since Thursday.
Yeah, it really has such a positive effect on your team when you know that guy will close it out for you almost every single time.
Yeah, you know, if you go to him, you're not going to be disappointed.
Exactly. It's a confidence thing for everybody on the playing field.
I love it. The crowd is going to go crazy. I can't. They're going to raise the roof if there was a roof.
In the playoffs, can you imagine?
Yeah.
He's coming in to close the game in the playoffs, which would be really his first experience. But what a scene will that be, man. And every TV station that has the Phillies can't go to a commercial when he comes in. It's unbelievable.
No.
He's taking the commercials right out of their hands.
Yeah, I'm getting chills thinking about it.
Well, slow down there, big boy. All right. Now, you had a concern about Zach Wheeler?
Yeah, I'm a little concerned. You know, he's had several marginal performances, or at least given up the long ball, and his velocity is down a little bit. Do you have any concerns?
No, I don't think his velocity is down. I just think he's got to find it again. I don't know what he did during the All-Star break, but it's almost like he didn't throw. He wanted to get himself ready for. I don't know what that meant, but he's given up the home run ball. But I think I'm looking at his velocity. I don't think his velocity is down at all.
What happens with a dead arm?
Yeah, I don't think he has that. I think he still's got a live arm. I just think his location is a little off right now.
Well, yeah, it's definitely been. That was always one of his strengths.
But it's not a dead arm. He doesn't have a dead arm. All right, it's 12 o'clock. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. You're listening to it on WPEN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, and we broadcast live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. It is noontime. It is lunchtime. Happy lunch to everybody, and enjoy your lunch with the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The news at noon begins with our old pal, Tito.
Yeah, quite the Tito story here. So he's doing the Speedway Classic, and this is funny that back-to-back days I open up this segment with what was one of the more unfortunate baseball attempts at marketing the game in a different way. But the Speedway Classic brought out Terry Francona to Intentional Talk on MLB Network, and he was asked about, hey, we've done this NASCAR thing before. What do you think about the experience? And he made it clear he's not a NASCAR guy, but he spent some time around Indianapolis. He's been there once, got a chance to go on the infield, and what he remembers is not necessarily the cars.
And I'm not a big, I'm happy to be here. I know nothing about NASCAR. Yeah. I was with the Indianapolis Speedway once for time trials. The cars would come by so fast.
Broke your neck.
I got bored, so I went on the infield, and they were throwing some gal up on a towel, and her top would come off, so I was like, I'll stay here for a while. That's the extent of it.
Tito.
How about Tito? Get a little frisky.
What in the world?
Jeez. Well, I'm not sure that you're supposed to admit something like that, but all right. Tito.
MLB Network.
Tito.
The manager. It's Speedway Classic. What are we doing?
No, not exactly stoic.
No.
Yeah. All right, Tito. He's a jokester. Can I tell you?
This reminds me of that one time. What?
Yeah. It's like some gal. There was some gal up in the air in a towel. That top came off. I mean, I'll stay here for a little while.
Cars didn't interest me at all.
Come on, man. What's next?
We're going to go from one wild manager comment to a wild coach comment. Someone wished Mike McDaniel a good morning at the Dolphins presser the other day, and he wants you to know why he believed it's not just a good morning, it's a great morning.
You should stand corrected. Good morning. False. Great morning. Let's go.
Why great? What makes this one great?
Because we're another day closer to death.
What?
We're another day closer to death. That's why it's a great morning?
Yeah.
What? I tell you, Mike McDaniel's a little weirdo, man. He really is a strange cat. I don't know how he could be a football coach being so strange.
Mike McDaniel, in that clip, finally crystallized in my mind who he is. And this reference is not going to land with you because you did not like the show and it bothers you when it's on instead of Seinfeld. He's Dwight Schrute from The Office. The entire cadence right there is stolen from the character in The Office. And I think that's the personality he's projected his entire time as a head coach. He has tried to be the oddball.
Dwight Schrute?
He's the oddball. He's the one that owns his own farm. He's the one that goes back and forth with John Krasinski's character.
The guy with the glasses?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's who he is.
Why is he? I don't know enough about Dwight Schrute to know why he's like that.
So the cadence right here, when you listen back to this.
You should stand corrected. Good morning. False.
That false is the exact way that Dwight Schrute would deliver that line.
He's a fan of The Office?
I think he projects that kind of I'm a quirky guy, energy, characteristics, whatever you want to say, when he tries to go through a presser. He wants to be that guy. I think it's an act, certainly. I don't think he can actually be that
Speaking
way.
of The Office, why do you like The Office so much? What is it about The Office that you like?
Found it funny? I know you didn't, but I found it funny. I enjoyed it.
You find the blending of the personalities funny?
Yeah.
Everybody's a different personality.
It's like, workplace.
Is it workplace?
Yeah. I mean, they could do the radio station here, and I think we would have a funny go of it.
Think so?
Yeah.
They could do an office here?
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we got to play this little clip with Brendan Gunn.
Oh, we will.
Coming up. This is the guy that tormented me as I worked with him for a couple of days when Ray was out. And I'll never forgive you for that, Ray. But Brendan Gunn, we'll feature him in just a little bit. What's number 3 here in News at Noon?
All right, final thing here. Colin Cowherd classic here. Colin Cowherd hates backwards hats.
See, something that he and I have in common.
Which I know you do.
Because we're all fuddy-duddies. We're all get off my lawn, guys.
Well, Brian Schottenheimer didn't just wear a backwards hat to his presser. He wore a backwards visor.
Come on, man.
Colin Cowherd.
Seriously, we're trying to be hip. Is that what it is?
Take a listen.
You know I don't like backward hats. What's worse is a backward visor. That's a 2-win team. I'm taking away 4 wins. So when you sit in front of a podium, you're representing the Cowboys, you're representing Bank of America, you're representing a $12 billion corporation. I think you got to do better as a head coach than a visor backwards. There's a reason at country clubs and private clubs, you have to wear collared shirts and jackets. There's a reason for that. Like, there's a standard. I don't want to look like a guy that's here to move my couch. Like, I want you to do better than that. That's awful.
Well, it's not a country club. Like, you can wear a backwards hat. You can look like a douche when you do it, but okay, you wear a backwards visor. I don't understand it. I do not understand the mentality of it. Do you do it because you think it looks cooler? Like, why would you do that? Well, how old is Brian Schottenheimer? 50?
Is he? He is 51.
51.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, 51. He's got what's the object of the look?
I don't know, but it seems like it's been his look for a bit now.
The backwards visor?
Yeah, a little backwards visor action.
All right, I agree with Colin, even though his rationale is ridiculous. He's going to take 4 wins away from him now because of the backwards visor.
I love it. You know, if you hate something, lean all the way into the hate.
Yeah, listen, I understand the backwards hat. You're in your 20s. You get to 30, maybe I give you a pass at age 30. You just turned 30, you don't know any better. But when you're in your 30s and you get older, like, what is the backwards hat supposed to represent? Like, is it a cool thing? I don't know. It's just as cool to wear a regular hat, isn't it? All right, that's the news. It's the news at noon. We're gonna have Jalen Hurts speaking. Oh, okay. We got Jalen Hurts. So what are we doing? Are we taking a break or are we going to Jalen? All right, we're going to go to Jalen. So hang in there for a second. Jalen Hurts is speaking at training camp, and we'll get hooked up with him. Here he is.
Jalen, was telling us this morning that he's purposely putting you guys in very competitive situations this camp. It seems like this year more than ever, there's more competitive nature. How do you feel like the team's responding to that?
I think the team is in a great place from a competitive standpoint. Everyone's just striving and we're pushing each other every day. You know, he puts us in those. He puts us in those tough situations, in those situations where you have to make a play and figure it out. And I think competitively and from a camaraderie standpoint, it builds confidence in one another, and the guy next to you, the guys on the other side of the ball. And so it's good to come out here and compete, know you're getting better because of the opponent you're going against every day.
What have you seen from Saquon this year versus last? He just seemed more comfortable. He's having fun. He's trash talking. He talked a lot about that. Have you seen a difference from him personality-wise?
I haven't seen a difference. That's who he is. And, you know, after the year he's had and after the success he's had, you'd only think that you'd have confidence in yourself and where you are. And so I just want to see him build off of what he's established for himself.
For you, about you, right? I mean, more confident, Super Bowl MVP. Do you feel that too?
I get the same answer.
Jalen, how would you describe your relationship and chemistry with Jahan and how much it's grown since this time last year?
Yeah. You know, I got fired up today. Jahan had a big time catch versus cover zero. But it's just, you know, you build those things based off of time and reps and the efforts put in. And so you see Dallas out there and that connection that we've had. I mean, that's been a special connection all camp. Smitty, AJ when he's out there, Jahan, showing, and now that we're able to build, and so just keep showing up and keep making plays and keep taking advantage of it. But obviously, I have a lot of confidence in Jahan. I had a lot of confidence in him as the year went on last year, and for him to make the big time plays he made towards the end of the year, that was all strictly based off of confidence.
When you throw that Quinion, whether it's to AJ or Devontae, what have you noticed about how much he's improved from last season, and what's it like trying to put the ball in there with him?
I think for Quinion, he's just growing in confidence. I don't know if y'all asked me or I brought it up, but it was something that I said the last time I sat here, just his confidence. And I even took the time to ask him. I said, man, what do you feel like the difference is for you in year 2? He said confidence. And so just want to see that continue to develop and see that continue to grow. He's been very sticky in coverage. He's been challenging all of those guys on the offensive side from a one-on-one standpoint. And so it's been good, it's been competitive, and we've all been getting better for it.
The Bengals have said they're going to play Hillsborough on Thursday. Do you feel like you can get yourself ready without playing in preseason games at this point in your career?
Well, I think anytime I have the opportunity to play, I'd relish in it and take advantage of it. And so if Coach makes that decision, I will.
You've been with Kevin for a long time. I mean, getting in-game experience with him, is that something you want in preseason?
Yeah, I think there are times where you can do that, obviously, in the game. Preseason games aren't real games in terms of what the defense is giving you and kind of what we're showing from an offensive standpoint. So that's all that you want to take into consideration. But, when you have these competitive practices and, like we're doing these situations like we're doing, you just want to take advantage of that. And so that's what I'm afforded and given, and that's all I can control in terms of taking advantage of it.
So to get the joint practices again, that's probably a big thing.
I think practice every day is a big thing when you talk about building chemistry. So nothing's more important than the other. At the end of the day, every ounce of time we get with one another, we take advantage of it.
Jalen, the organization comes to big extreme players, tends to get ahead of things, right? Like this used to be like in the third year, you could wait a little bit longer. Is there a practical effect to that in the day-to-day, like being in the organization, practicing games? Does it help that how we in the organization kind of follow that plan and that process?
I think that may be a question for someone that maybe is awaiting that. I do think it brings a sense of confidence, but you can kind of see a trend on how things go, whether it be by position or by timing and things like that. And so, Howie's always done a great job at doing what he does. He's been very intentional about his decisions, and so it's continued to put us in a great place. So as a player, as a quarterback, I want to hold up on my end and do what I'm asked to do.
How often do you have those types of conversations like that? And is it intentional on your part, like out of curiosity, or to try to instill something for those guys?
Yeah, it's intentional. I think even in curiosity, my moments of being curious are even intentional. And so just having those conversations and seeing that, and if I got something on my mind, I'm gonna ask it. And I think as a teammate, getting to know my teammates from that standpoint, that stands a lot, because I want to know how they're seeing the game. I want to see why you're playing this type of technique right here, because this is what I'm thinking. So just those conversations, they go a very, very long way. They bring you closer together, and it's something that I think that is oozing throughout the environment, because everyone has experienced what it's like to, not everyone, but you got new guys that have seen what that looks like from afar, and you got guys that were on last year's team that have experienced that type of success. And so everybody wants to feel that feeling, and there's a bit of a togetherness, a bit of cohesiveness there to try and build just to pursue the collective, and I couldn't ask for more.
What does that kind of create amongst the group where it's kind of like iron sharpens iron mentality, and kind of seeing the best people in their business?
Well, that's a pretty unique thing, because from Smitty's standpoint, I can assure that that's a Alabama mentality, and that's something that's kind of been ingrained in us. And so, given how many of those type of guys we have around here, SEC type guys, it all kind of comes from the same template and mold. And so, competition is everything. How Coach Sirianni goes about it, I applaud it and support it fully. And we just kind of build off of that. I think Coach Sirianni does a really good job of, again, just bringing those situations to life in practice so we can already have a mode and have that much conviction when it is 4th and 5 and what we're going to do. 3rd and, 1, what we're going to do. Everybody knows what we're going to do in that moment, but just building that confidence in one another.
How do you think Tyler Stevens doing in communications with them with the ball at the line of scrimmage and having that continuity?
Yeah, I think he's doing an amazing job. Steen has stepped in every opportunity he's had and really taking advantage of that moment, and he's doing the same right now. It's a collective effort when you talk about making calls and getting the table set up there, and it's really all 6 of us. Mainly the interior 3, center leading it, and then myself kind of seeing it. So it's just an overall communication. Steen's doing a great job. I know Lane talks highly of him and speaks highly of him, believes in him a lot, and that's important for him because that's his neighbor and his running mate.
What's it been like going up against Jahad Campbell?
Sorry?
What's it been like going up against Jahad Campbell?
Yeah, for Jahad, he has a presence on the field with his range and how quick he is, how fast he is. He definitely you can see he's a great football player, and he's just flying around. You see the guys come in, and you start to see him settle down, and just you're starting to see that a little bit from a reactive standpoint. He's going to continue to learn everything and build off of where he is, and they got a great linebacker room in there to help him along his journey. Great coaches, and so he'll continue to build. But he has a ton of athletic ability, natural football instinct, and definitely feel it on the field.
Thanks, John. Thanks, everyone. I'll be up for today.
All right, Jalen. He just talks. He really doesn't know what to say. He talks in generalities. I love it.
I like the little nugget about him talking with Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah.
For as much as it made about his leadership over the last couple of years, that's something I like to hear.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, we'll take a break. This at 12:30, we're going to talk to Mike Tolen, the Hollywood sports movie producer extraordinaire, who was behind a documentary on Dick Allen and was a friend of Dick Allen's, and was glad to see him in the Hall of Fame. We'll talk to Mike at about 12:30. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. Take a quick break and back after this.
Philadelphia.
Mike Missanelli Show. I didn't even know I put this song in the mix.
You did?
Yeah. 21 Pilots song, I put that in there?
You did.
Oh.
Is it time for it to go?
No, it's a good
Say, I'm enjoying it.
I like it.
You didn't hear any drops because I was just.
Yeah,
all
you were
right.
digging it?
How about it?
All right. Sounds good. What's the text board saying at this particular moment, Ray?
We got texters lining up to try and get Justin Crawford on this team. People are sick and tired of not having him on this team. We got a texter here. If you're going to bring up Crawford, they should. He has to play every day. He needs the at-bats. Then you look at him for 2 months to see if he'll be your center fielder of the future. Hard to see Wilson, Kemp, Marsh here long-term. And Kepler needs to take a long walk off a short pier.
Oh, no. The long walk off a short pier cliche?
Yep.
All
We
right.
got it.
They rolled that one
on the
out.
text line.
Okay, that's an old school one.
Yeah, it is an old school one.
Yep.
We got another text here talking about the outfield, if their text were to ever load here. Delaware texter, trying to defend Castellanos, it looks like. But, all right, I'm going to give you the extent of what it did say because it will not load. Castellanos earns his paycheck. He does what he's asked to do. Don't start to question where he belongs in this outfield.
See, there's a lot of Casty fans out there, man. A lot of Casty fans. I really. They don't buy that defensive metric thing. Nor does he. He doesn't buy it. He thinks he does a good job out there in right field. And frankly, I can't think of many times that he's really messed up. Now, the numbers may say he doesn't get to many balls, but it seems like he gets to most.
Well, because by the time the camera cuts to him, he's like, oh, yeah, that ball's dropping.
Is he that bad out there, you think? He is?
Yes. He doesn't have range. It's not. I mean, it's not necessarily his fault because he's just not that fleet of foot. But sometimes he also takes the first step the wrong way. He doesn't read off the bat exactly. There's been a couple of examples of that this season. And I think that, to me,
it seems to me that he gets the most balls. I don't have a noticeable difference on why, like that I don't understand the metrics that indicate that he's bad.
Well, again, for him, it's great for him playing every day because you never see another alternative in right field.
Okay.
There's no other, like, he gets the most balls as compared to who? There is no one else in right field. We don't have any other one to compare him to on this team, night in and night out. Like, defensively, it's going to look like he gets to what he gets to because there is never, like, we can compare what Marsh and Rojas can get to because Marsh and Rojas, we see the difference night in and night out of them playing. There is no difference in right field. It's always Nick Castellanos.
Yeah.
And it's been Nick Castellanos for the last 4 years.
Yes.
Pretty much every single day.
And you're saying there's a noticeable difference on balls he does not get to.
Yeah, I mean, there's just balls that drop in. The routes he takes to some things drive me crazy. I do not believe he is a good defensive outfielder.
Okay. All right, what else do we have on the text board?
We have a lot of people chiming in on the pillow conversation.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't mean this to sound sexist. This is more of a woman thing. The pillows on the bed is more of a woman thing.
Well, that's where the text line went because we were doing this as a single man conversation.
Yeah.
I don't want to read names. I actually don't want to get any married men in trouble here. I'm in married life pillow hell. 13 total pillows on our bed. They cover half of our king bed. 3 large square pillows standing against the high headboard, then 2 rows of our 2 sleep pillows each, then the 2 shams with 4 assorted decorative square and rectangular pillows up front. And they are coordinated for each season. Kill me.
Women do frilly much better than men. I mean, it's just a fact. Women and their fascination with the store Home Goods is like, well, I'll go to Home Goods because sometimes I'll get a couple pillows, right? And people go to Home Goods, get the pillow. I go to Home Goods. You know what I wind up buying at Home Goods? Olive oil. Well, why would Home Goods carry olive oil? But they do. I buy olive oil there.
Texter, my wife has 11 pillows on our bed. And just 2 sleeping pillows.
It's unbelievable. Women stack pillows. What? These 2 look good, but these 2 look good with the 2 that look good. But then these 3 look really good with the 2 that are on top of the 2. And then you got to have the 1. The 1 is the center pillow. You got 2, center pillow like you're talking about.
Yes. Which I was just wondering about getting a 5th.
Usually a smaller pillow, a smaller square pillow.
Correct.
Is the center pillow.
Yes.
And you got to go So you're throwing them off like frisbees to get some
But
sleep.
now you make it sound fun. I like throwing the frisbee.
All right, quick break. On the other side, we'll talk to Mike Tolen. He's got a documentary coming out on Dick Allen. We'll get the word on how far advanced that is, when we can see that. And, of course, he was friends with Dick for a long time. I want to find out the history of that relationship. That's coming up after this on the Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies bash past the O's. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies hit 6 home runs and a 13-3 throttling of the Baltimore Orioles. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs, including a grand slam. Bryce Harper, Harrison Bader, Edmundo Sosa, and Weston Wilson all got in on the home run fun. Schwarber was showered with MVP chants last night and spoke postgame about it.
It just happens. It goes over the fence, and like I said, those are the moments that you take in as a player. That those are special things that happen, and those are things that kind of just go in the back of memory and hold on to those things for a while. But yeah, it was obviously a really cool thing. I appreciate it.
The Phillies host the Orioles again tonight at 6:45 with Taijuan Walker on the mound. We're 2 days away from Eagles' preseason opener against the Bengals. Last night they traded defensive tackle Thomas Booker the fourth for cornerback Ja'Cory Bennett. Bennett immediately jumps into the competition for the second cornerback spot between Keely Ringo and Dory Jackson right now. This update's brought to you by Extreme Experience. Extreme Experience brings real supercar driving in New Jersey Motorsports Park August 14th to the 17th. No experience needed. Book now at extremeexperience.com. That's Extreme Experience. Both with an X. Space is limited. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Delaware Valley today. And I'm really excited to talk to our next guest. He, of course, is the Hollywood sports movie producer extraordinaire. The man behind such movies as Coach Carter, Varsity Blues, Summer Catch, Radio, and, of course, the great 10-part documentary, The Last Dance, on Michael Jordan. And he is the pride of Haverford High. We welcome in Mike Tolen. Mike, how you doing today?
Great to be on with you, Mike. I just got to amend one thing. If we could make it Havertown producer instead of Hollywood producer.
All right. Okay, Havertown producer sounds good to me. I like it. Mike, you have a significant history with the great Dick Allen, and it's really a fascinating story. And he finally gets inducted in the Hall of Fame, and you were a man who constantly lobbied for it, and you were at the ceremony. What did that feel like to you?
Well, after all these years, Mike, as you said, we're talking 60-plus years, because when he was Rookie of the Year in 1964 with the Phillies, it was my rookie year as a fan. I was 8. I was one of those kids who'd say, "Goodnight, Mom," and then put the transistor radio under the pillow and put the little plug in your ear. And so, I mean, we all know the story. We all know the number 6.5 up with 12 to play. So you cry yourself to sleep every night, right? Chico Ruiz steals home. We lose 1-0 the first game. And then it's like the World Series tickets that my dad brought over to Jaime's Deli and said, "Look, kids, we're going to the World Series," are gone. So, and then, we got to wait 16 years till we get there. Then in the late 70s, I was going to college out in the Bay Area, and he was finishing his career with the Oakland A's. A lot of people in Philly, a lot of people everywhere don't know that. It was a very obscure, final chapter. He wore number 60 instead of number 15, and he wore wampum instead of Allen, right? There are these great pictures, in his green uniform, wampum 60, because he went to Wampum High, class of 1960, right? That was his homage. Anyway, so we're talking about a relationship, that spanned hero worship into friendship, and then we started making a film about him in the early 2000s. So I don't know if I can really put it into words, but just, think of your favorite uncle, your favorite family member who finally gets honored, but in a way that is global and forever, in perpetuity. And we waited so long. He might be the only major leaguer ever to miss by one vote twice. So, your heart breaks and you think maybe it's never going to happen, and then you sort of kind of shield yourself from the hurt again. But I got to give huge credit to John Middleton. John, it turns out, was growing up in the same neighborhood at the same time. We're basically the same age, and we sort of co-conspired way back right at the beginning of the pandemic, and John agreed to retire Dick's jersey number. So I think that was kind of like a statement to the Hall of Fame and to people out there, like, whoa, this team considers him of value, because previously no Philly that wasn't in the Hall of Fame had ever had their jersey retired. So for John to break that 100-plus year tradition and honor this man this way. And the other thing, Mike, is, it went from counting stats to analytics, right? So instead of saying he's a power hitter that only had 351 home runs, that doesn't quite get you there. Now you're looking at OPS plus, and he's right there at the top between, Hank Aaron and Willie Mays and Dick Allen as the best hitters for a decade plus. So it was so beautiful and so emotional, and we're all so grateful. Obviously, the bittersweet part is he wasn't there because he passed away in 2020, but his widow, his kids, his grandkids, nephews, nieces, probably 150 people named Allen were there from Western Pennsylvania, and it was just a big, warm love fest. I just can't tell you how much we felt it and enjoyed it.
Yeah. First of all, nice drop with the Jaime's Deli. I love that little reference you're throwing there.
It's still there, man.
It absolutely is. Now, listen, we're kind of in the same age group, so we grew up with the same love of Dick Allen because of what he could do, and he was just phenomenal. The balls he would launch at Old Connie Mack Stadium. So he was a lot of people's favorite favorite player.
Right.
The writers didn't treat him that way. But I'm curious to know, what was the origin of you forming a relationship with him over the years?
Well, just like you, Mike, I just, would see him come to bat in that baggy pinstripe uniform, kind of regal. His presence was just so dynamic. I mean, Bunyan-esque is not too big a word to use to describe how it felt as a little kid watching his presence. And then that 42-ounce World Club, I mean, people who don't know the history, it was the heaviest bat maybe ever, maybe only Babe Ruth is what most people say. And then, like you said, he didn't just hit the ball out. He hit it over the roof, and people measure. Jason Stark, my buddy who writes for The Athletic, told a story the night before the induction where a guy actually measured one of his homers at 540 feet, might be the longest ball ever hit. So, and, there was no TiVo then, right? So I always go, he's the guy you go, all right, Mom, we'll be right in. I just got to watch Richie bat, and then I'll come in for dinner. Everything, just revolved around him, and he was magnetic. And then, he got booed out of town, and so as a kid, you just kind of want to hug him and say, we love you, actually. And that was what was so beautiful about what John and the Phillies did, because it was this kind of mutual forgiveness. Like, he forgave us for treating him that way and drumming him out of town, and maybe we forgave him for, abandoning us, even though it was kind of justified when you look back on it.
Yeah, the documentary you're planning, is it titled Letters in the Dirt? Is that what you're going to go with?
Yeah, well, yes, that's the working title, and I guess we got to explain the origin because it's a little bit obscure. But there's a folk singer named Chuck Brodsky, another pal who grew up like us with the same hero, and he wrote a song about Dick, which he sang at that same event that John hosted. And in '69, when the writing was on the wall, meaning he was, essentially playing out his option, even though you couldn't back then.
Yeah.
There was no free
Reserve
agency.
clause.
He was just kind of making it like, you don't want me here, and I don't want to be here. And so he was playing first base then, and he started scribbling words in the dirt, like Coke, because he was going to hit the ball over the Coke sign on the left field wall at Connie Mack, or Mom, because his mother was the only one who could tell him what to do. And October 2nd, OCT period 2, like, because that's my last day of, right? Yeah. And so,
and Boo,
dirt, right?
And Boo,
yeah, and Boo, yeah. Oh, of course, Boo, right? Was the original title. But I got to say, it's not a documentary anymore, because in December of 2020, I got this crazy out-of-the-blue call from an executive at Paramount. So Dick died on Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th, 2020. 2 days later, there's a full-page banner, 8-column headline in the New York Times, which means a lot more to those people in Hollywood, a little more influence than the Yankee and the Bulletin and the Daily News, which is all we read growing up. But this guy calls me and he says, "Hey man, you're the Philly guy, right?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I've been called worse." What I didn't say, but could have, was I've been called worse by better. But I saved that, tried to be polite. So yeah, I'm the Philly guy. And he goes, "Well, I'm a pretty big baseball fan, but I got this story today in a creative meeting. Guy came in and said, we got to do a movie about Dick Allen." And this guy, Jeremy Kramer, says, "Who's Dick Allen?" And he reads this thing, and he goes, "I got to call Tolen. He's the Philly guy." So I said, "All right, I'm playing along." So he says, "Did you ever hear of this guy?" Imagine, Mike, like after, what is it, 50 years or something, 50-plus years, and somebody says, "Did you ever hear of Dick Allen?" So I said, "All right, I'm still playing along. Yeah, what?" And he said, "Do you want to make a movie?" And I had been shooting documentary for almost 20 years. We started shooting him on the set of Summer Catch, and then he came and played a character with Kurt Russell and Dakota Fanning in the movie Dreamer that we did about a horse.
Yep.
That was his dream, man. I said, "Dick, I'm sending you a ticket to come down to Keeneland." For people who don't know, Keeneland Racetrack in Kentucky, it's kind of like, I'd sort of call it the Lambeau of horse racing.
Yeah.
It's not the biggest, but it's just got that special, kind of unique, historic, nostalgic glow. And so he came down. He and Kurt Russell became fast friends. Kurt played a little minor league baseball. But anyway, so I said, I've been shooting the documentary. He said, well, do you want to make a real movie? And we kind of worked out we do a hybrid. So it's scripted, and it's going to have some documentary elements, and it's going to have some what I'd call faux documentary elements, meaning there's no footage of the fight in 1965 at batting practice between
Frank
Dick
Thomas.
Allen and Frank Thomas, right? The
Yep.
seminal event that
Yes.
really turned the fans against him.
Yes.
But we're going to make it like we found documentary footage, right? It's going to be, you know, a little bit out of focus and a little bit, you know, shaky cam and all, and we're going to recreate Connie Mack Stadium and you know, with AI now, man, it's going to look that big right field wall and that Valentine beer sign over the scoreboard. It's just gives me chills, man.
Yeah, like the West Covington area, right
man.
field. This is going to be fascinating to me. And we're talking to Mike Tolen, of course, is Havertown movie producer who's working on this. When do we expect this to be out?
Well,
Mike?
you know, like that whole coming soon to a theater near you. Well,
Yeah.
define near you and define soon. Damn, I don't know, Mike. Here's what I'll say. The Hall of Fame gave us a great ending, and we're now kind of frame this as, you know, his quest for the recognition that he never got. You know, sort of, it's not, you know, he's not a vengeful guy.
Yeah.
It's not like he needed, you know, to sort of, you know, get revenge on anybody. He's just, that's really the thing, Mike, to get to know him and realize the misconception, how people totally misconstrued. You know, he was withdrawn because that three-headed monster of those columnists in the 60s that don't need to be named, they just battered him psychically, just crushed him, and so he withdrew. But he wasn't angry, he wasn't sullen, he wasn't militant. He was just, you know, it's kind of like, you know, when Jalen says the main thing is the main thing. I listened to Jalen in the last half hour, and you sort of dismissed what he said, which made me laugh. But Jalen's doing what he does to keep his mind on what really matters, right?
Yeah, he's singularly focused to the point of being, almost coming off aloof and weird. Mike,
keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah, keep the main thing the main thing. Mike, I want to talk to you about some other things. I love some of the movies you've done, and The Last Dance was a masterpiece. But Coach Carter, Varsity Blues, Summer Catch, I enjoyed immensely. And here's the thing that I noticed about your movies. You find actors who can actually play. How do you do that?
Wow. Probably giving me more credit than I deserve, because it's not always the case. In Coach Carter, it was really critical because basketball players are, you know, basically wearing their underwear. They're not wearing helmets. They're out there. You can, like, you watch White Men Can't Jump, the original, and you go, come on, Wesley, come on, Woody.
Yeah.
Like, the dribble's wrong, the jump shots are ugly, so you can't hide it. And I also have this rule, because we did a show called One Tree Hill, which was like a, you know, sort of basketball show set in high school, and I had a rule, like, no cutting from the time the ball leaves the shooter's hand to the time the ball goes in the hoop. None of that nonsense where you should, you know, go to the cutaway of the rim and the ball goes in. Come on, man.
Yeah.
So these guys had to play. So in Coach Carter, we really worked hard, and we did, as you say, find guys who could play. In Summer Catch, if you sorry to throw somebody over the bus here, but the star of that movie was a pitcher,
Freddie
a
Prinze
left-handed
Jr.
pitcher.
Yes.
Okay, you said it.
Yeah.
I had a friendship with Randy Wolf then. Of course, we all remember our crafty lefty.
The Wolf Pack.
Randy actually made an all-star team
Yes,
right
he
around
did.
that time.
Yep.
And he said, Mike, I see you're doing this movie with Freddie Prinze Jr., Jessica Biel, and then a great cast of others. He said, I'd really like to meet Jessica Biel. I'm like, I don't blame you. He said, I will, if I can come down and meet Jessica Biel, I will be your technical consultant for nothing. I'll pay my own way. I don't want any money. And I'm a lefty, just like Freddie. So, like, I'll tell him, you know, it's not just how to, you know, throw a curveball and a slider and a changeup. Like, it'll be how to toe the rubber and how to play with the rosin bag and how to look in for signs. Like, he needs all that, right?
Yeah.
So Freddie was like, nah, you just get the stunt guy to do it. So if you watch the film, you see we cut away from him right as
that's amazing. That's amazing editing because I thought Freddie Prinze Jr. could throw a little bit.
I'm sorry, man.
That's okay. Well, I can tell you something else though. Tweeter could run some patterns in Varsity Blues.
Now you're talking. Yeah, now you're talking. Scotty Kahn, man, that was and Vanderbeek learned how to throw the ball a little bit. There's been a lot of different attempts to make a sequel to Varsity Blues. The thing is that in the 21st century, the whipped cream bikini would be on a guy, not on a woman, and the strip club would be probably male strippers, not the English teacher, Miss Davis.
I love that movie.
I got to hype one more thing that's just because I just premiered it and it's got Philly roots. So, do you remember the name George Raveling, Mike?
Oh, sure, absolutely, George Raveling from Villanova.
Yeah. So if you saw the movie Air, which was a very entertaining movie about Michael Jordan going to Nike, it's kind of inspired by, based on a true story. I mean, Sonny Vaccaro did definitely play a role, and all those guys were involved. But there's sort of a glaring omission, which is George Raveling. There's only one scene. The way it went was Ben Affleck, who's directing, went to Michael Jordan and said, "Hey, man, we're making this movie. Don't worry, we're not going to have anybody playing you. But I just want to know if there's anything you'd like us to do or not do so that you can at least not be a hater, support the movie on some level." And MJ said, well, just two things. I'd like Viola Davis to play my mother, and you got to honor George Raveling because I ain't going to Nike without George Raveling. He's the guy that preached Nike. That is the reason I went there. And so Ben wrote a scene for Marlon Wayans, and there's one scene in the early part of the movie where he goes to Tony Roma's with Matt Damon, who's playing Sonny Vaccaro, and that's it. And so when the movie came out, some people, mainly Worldwide West, if you know the infamous William West,
oh yes, I do,
who's now running the Knicks with Leon Rose, and he goes, Mike, we got to get the truth out there, and we got to honor Rav. And I'm like, Rav he was my guy. I mean, he recruited my first basketball heroes, guys like Johnny Jones and Howard Porter, right? Got us to the finals against UCLA.
Yep.
So we made a documentary. I just premiered it at Martha's Vineyard Film Festival. Great reception. It'll be out in the spring. We're talking to the streaming services now, and we'll definitely be back for a premiere in Philly. We'll probably have Jay Ray.
What's it called again? What's the name of the movie?
It's called Unraveling George.
Okay.
So,
sounds good.
I'll make sure I get in touch with you guys, and we'll
all right, we'll look forward to it. Listen, it's always been my dream that I'd be an extra in a Mike Tolen movie. So, cast me as an angry sports talk host.
You got to dream. You got to dream bigger than that. Come on.
No. I just want to be an angry sports talk host in a Mike Tolen movie. Are we good with that?
Okay.
Can we do that?
We can do it. I'd love to do it.
Mike, listen, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks so much, and continued success. We enjoy all your work, and I can't wait for the Dick Allen movie and also Unraveling George. That'll be cool. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks, guys.
All right, man. There he is, Mike Tolen from Hollywood, checking in. How about
Havertown?
How about from Havertown? How about the Jessica Biel story, Randy Wolf?
That was incredible. That's an amazing story.
I can't blame him. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I catch all this time thinking, Freddie Prinze could throw a little bit.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Apparently not.
Disappointing end to that story.
Yeah.
But an incredible story there from Randy Wolf.
Yeah. All right, Mike Missanelli Show. We'll take a quick break. We're back after this.
Now, a Birds Insider Update on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The Eagles make a deal. I'm Ray Dunn with this Birds Insider Update. Last night, the Eagles made a deal to pick up cornerback Jacorian Bennett from the Raiders. In exchange, they sent defensive tackle Thomas Booker IV. The Raiders looking for some depth across their defensive line. And for the Eagles, it makes it quite interesting what will happen with that second cornerback spot opposite of Quinyon Mitchell on the outside. Obviously, so far we've seen Keely Ringo and Adoree Jacksby, the two guys mentioned as potentially starring alongside Mitchell. But Bennett does have starting experience while playing with the Raiders, and today Nick Sirianni got a chance to address the fact that the Eagles made that addition.
We thought that was an opportunity to add some depth at corner. We feel good about our depth. Obviously, we'll miss Book and wish him the best, and we feel good about our depth at defensive tackle, but just a way to add some depth there at corner.
So nothing really big in terms of the conversation of whether or not he will be a starter for this team, but certainly something to monitor now that the Birds have made that move. The Birds just 2 days away from the preseason opener against the Bengals. We'll keep you updated with who may play, who may not play, as we learn more about their plans going forward. Jalen Hurts was asked about that today and said he relishes the opportunity to play, but ultimately that one's up to the coach. So we'll let you know when we know who's suiting up Thursday night. I'm Ray Dunn with this Birds Insider Update on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It's Mike Missanelli Show. Mike Tolen didn't think much of the hoop ability of Wesley and Woody.
No, not at all.
Now, they disguised it pretty well. White Man Can't Jump.
Yeah, I thought so.
They didn't look that bad, did they?
No, I didn't think they looked that bad. The way he attacked it, I was like, "Sheesh."
See, he's a technical guy. He goes, hey, see, that's wrong. That doesn't work. Blah blah blah. Bad dribble. Went off the wrong foot on the shot.
Yeah, I guess. I guess I'll go back and. Well, no, I can't go back and watch. I got more to watch.
Coach Carter, those guys he had playing for that high school could play. They were up and down the court, good dribble, alley-oop passes.
So, in that case, I guess he's got a point. He's got a reason to have a gripe.
In Summer Catch, Jessica Biel's father was played by the guy who played Wick from Seinfeld, the charity Susan, his dead wife Susan, the charity.
Yes.
Wick was the guy who was the head of the foundation. That was he was in Summer Catch.
They gave it to the kid.
What's his name? Bruce Davidson, I think is his name. The actor.
Yes.
And Brian Dennehy, who was the major villain in the Rambo movies, was the coach of the summer league team in Summer Catch.
Oh yeah, I've seen Brian Dennehy and stuff.
Brian Dennehy.
Yes.
Brian
Dennehy. What else has he been in? What do I know?
Brian Dennehy? Oh, he's been in a lot of movies. He's been in a ton of movies, Brian.
The fact that I recognize him that quickly is...
Yeah, he's got that recognizable face. Yeah. But Bruce Davidson has a hate the face. As Wick. He always plays a hate the face, Bruce Davidson.
Yeah, and George gives it to one of the kid that lied to him, right?
Yeah.
He wants to give the scholarship to the kid.
That was the Van Buren Boys episode. He turned into a Van Buren boy, that kid.
That's what it was.
And they ganged George on the street.
Yes, and he had the sign. Yeah. I remember that one.
Unfortunately, we got to take another quick break here, but we're coming back for a full 1 o'clock hour on the Mike Missanelli Show. We'll rehash all the stuff we started to talk about today. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies bash past the O's. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies hit 6 home runs and a 13-3 throttling of the Orioles. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs, including a grand slam. Bryce Harper, Harrison Bader, Edmundo Sosa, and Weston Wilson all homered in the win. Schwarber was showered with MVP chants last night and spoke post-game about just that.
It just happens. It goes over the fence, and like I said, those are the moments that you take in as a player. That those are special things that happen, and those are things that kind of just go in the back of memory and hold on to those things for a while. But yeah, it was obviously a really cool thing. I appreciate it.
Phillies host the Orioles again tonight, 6:45. Taijuan Walker getting the start. 2 days away from the Eagles' preseason opener against the Bengals. Last night they traded defensive tackle Thomas Booker IV for cornerback Ja'Cory Bennett. Bennett immediately jumps into the competition for the second cornerback spot with Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson. This update is brought to you by the local Ream Pro partners at thereamteam.com. When you want your home to feel like a dream, it has to be Ream. Stay cool with the high-efficiency AC system from Ream, RHEEM. Find a Ream Pro partner at thereamteam.com. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It's 1 o'clock hour. Mike Missanelli Show, WPEN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Jose Alvarado was back with the team today, and there is a statement that has been issued that he apparently issued, although I'm very cynical about these statements because invariably they are written by an agent, so they come off smoothly. So I'll just read it. May 18th was a very difficult day for me. That day, MLB announced the positive result of a doping test conducted in March 2025. I am fully aware that using prohibited substances is wrong, and I would never intend to do so because I have always had great respect for the game, my organization, my teammates, and the fans, all of whom I want to offer my sincere apologies. I made a mistake, and therefore, I have faced the consequences set forth by MLB. Going forward, my focus is on working hard to help the team win. Once again, I offer my deepest apologies to the Phillies organization, my teammates, my family, my country, Venezuela, the city of Philadelphia, and the fans who have always supported me, especially the children and young people. There is always a lesson to be learned in every mistake. I thank God for giving me the strength to overcome this situation. I am glad to be back and ready to support the team. Okay, that's fine, except I am fully aware that using prohibitive substances is wrong, and I would never intend to do so. Well, you did. You did do so. Like, what does that mean? I would never intend to do so. What are you suggesting here?
He's suggesting what they suggested from the beginning, that he was trying to lose weight.
Yeah, which I think is BS, but that's just me.
Yeah.
All right, so he's back, and he's got a statement, and it'll be interesting to see how they use him now.
I would argue that he has not lived through the biggest consequence of the suspension. Not having in the postseason, to me, is it's far bigger deal than the fact that we've made it to August here. This team was good enough to tread water without him in the regular season.
Yeah.
But losing him in the postseason is definitely the bigger consequence.
It's still no question. It's bitter. So that's what I'm saying. Like, how will they use him here? They have to get him back acclimated. I don't know. Is he activated?
No, he's
not
going
activated.
down. I believe today is the day he will head down there, and for 2 weeks he'll be in the minor leagues, and then August 19th, I think, is the day that he.
Okay, we're back on August 19th, so there's a short period of time that he has to help the Phillies. But will they put him in an important setup role, or even a closer role when they don't want to go Duran back to back?
Well, the question to me is it worth putting him back in those roles when you want to see what you have in the rest of the bullpen in those big scenarios?
That's what I mean. You got to have some kind of an idea on how you're going to pitch guys in the playoffs. So would he disturb that?
Yeah, it's a very disturbing thing because it's going to either be they're using him in these scenarios, and then come October, guess what? Now someone else is being used in these scenarios. The one thing I guess you could say is these days where it's like, yeah, we don't want this guy pitching on back-to-back days. That's where Alvarado fits in because other guys would be down. But it kind of throws a wrench in trying to build your bullpen for what it's going to look like in October when he's not going to be there. I mean, if I were them, I'd be throwing him on back-to-back days if they need him. Like, you're here to be a flamethrower for 6 weeks. We're not thinking about the long-term October viability of you. You're here to give us everything you got for 6 weeks, man. And then I don't know where you go. I don't know where you sit and watch the games in the postseason.
Let me ask you this question as it concerns Duran. Did the Twins use him night after night after night, or did they not use him back to back?
Good question in terms of his usage.
Because we haven't really heard much about that part of it. Or would the Phillies trot him out game after game, like 3 games in a row, use him game?
Looking at just the way he was used this season in Minnesota, I see a number of instances of him going back-to-backs. April 5th, 6th, April 12th, 13th, 15th, 16th, May 3rd, 4th, May 7th, 8th, 10th, 11th, 14th, 15th, 24th, 25th.
So
there, a lot of instances of him going back-to-back days.
Do you see back at all?
3 consecutive, I do not. I'm seeing 3 times in 4 days, but not 3 times in.
Well, 3 times in 4 days is pretty significant.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're not afraid to go back-to-back nights, but I think there is not an instance. Now, again, that also means you have to be winning 3 consecutive nights. And for the Twins, that's why they end up selling out. Back-to-back, I don't think would be a concern. I would be surprised if they use them 3 consecutive days regular season-wise.
Maybe Alvarado closes one of those.
Maybe he does. And maybe, I guess that's your role for him the rest of the season.
That's the role they would use him in, or otherwise they use him in the 7th?
Yeah. 7th, 8th. I mean, they could use him as a setup guy. I mean, imagine you get through 7 innings of Wheeler, and then you got to deal with Alvarado from the left side in that heat, and then Duran in that heat in the 9th inning. It's not exactly a fun thing for.
No, it's not. What I'm saying is that then does that throw the order off when you're going into the playoffs, where you have to change it back?
Yeah, I see what you're saying in that. That would be a concern for me. I think I've found one instance from last season where he went 3 consecutive days. Last August.
He looks like he's hardy as a horse, man. So I'll just throw him out there. Let's go to the phones. Uncle Frank's in Westchester. What's up, Uncle Frank?
Michael.
Uncle Frank, what's up?
Oh, man. Back down OCNJ. Listening to my boys. By the way, congratulations. I didn't know you married your daughter off.
Yeah, 2 years ago she got married. Yes.
I was looking for my name tag that night and what tape, but alas, I couldn't find it.
It was quite a shindig.
Nice. So, Ray, I'm going to give Michael a line from a movie, and you tell us what movie it's from. All right? Michael.
Go ahead.
I am grateful and honored to be invited to your daughter.
Well, of course, that's Luca.
Wedding.
That's Luca Brazzi.
Hey, I'm not done.
Oh,
Rustling the papers right here, and I hope that their first voice child be a masculine child.
Yes.
All right.
Now let me ask you a question on Luca. A big, strong guy like that. How does a penknife keep his hand attached to the bar?
I got to tell you, I was so pissed off. That
big, strong. He's 300 pounds, stronger than an ox, and they stick a penknife through his hand. And he can't get loose.
He was a wrestler. I was looking forward to this guy for hours, like killing people.
I know. I can't believe it. They one little knife in the hand, it stuck him for life. All right, whatever.
Ray, you've seen The Godfather, right? Please.
Yeah, it's The Godfather. Ray hasn't seen it. He has no idea what we're talking about.
Oh my God!
But
he's
seen White Man Can't Jump. Seen that?
Did you watch True Romance yet?
No, he didn't watch it.
All right.
He's moving. He was moving this weekend. He doesn't have cable in his house right now, which is another thing we need to talk about in a second.
Wait a minute. This is a great lead-in. Thank you. You know, at Bill's Club, the large screen TVs only have channels 3, 6, 10, 12, 17, 29, 48.
48? Yeah, channel 48? And what do they have to do? They have to click the dial?
Yeah, cable has not reached that rural area yet.
Oh, God. No. I think they have regular TV at Bill's Course. I think they have the whole cable set up. They do. They show movies on a projector, though. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Previously on Unfiltered.
Missanelli Show, 610-632-0975 is how you get to me. There was Bill Colarulo went to practice again today. And are you ready? Here's the scene from today at practice. Coach! Hi, Coach! It's me, Bill! Over here, Coach. It's Bill. Remember? Hey, Big Dom. Who's that guy? Coach, it's Bill. No, Colarulo. He's a member now of the sideline crew. The sideline coverers of the Eagles.
Hell yeah.
Colarulo. He goes every day now. Since that handshake.
Since the handshake.
Yep. Since he shook Nick's hand, he's got him. Coach, remember? We shook hands 2 weeks ago.
What?
Speaking of Sirianni, can I hear from him? Let's hear from Sirianni. Let's hear from Bill's pal. He was on today, a presser prior to practice. Listen, this is preseason game 1 is going to be fun to see. The younger guys, all that stuff. This is going to be a really good season for the Eagles. I have no problem whatsoever. I have a comfort zone right now with the Eagles and the Phillies. And so let's hear from the coach here. Let's hear him talk about preseason showing the habits that players have. That's Nick Sirianni 5.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, Howie and I have to make those decisions of who's playing. Obviously, I listen to input from all our coaches, what they think and what they're feeling. But at the end of the day, just like everything, I got to make some final decisions. But yeah, we've talked through everything. I guess what you're looking for when you play a game like this is that you're looking at all your habits. When the pressure's high and the stakes are high, that all your habits come to life, right? And so you want to see good tackling, you want to see good ball security, you want to see good takeaway ability, you want to see good blocking, you want to see good block destruction, you want to see smart situational football, you want to see all those different things right there.
Yeah, it's weird that he said Howie and I have to make decisions on who will play. Does Howie get involved in who will play? Does that sound weird to you?
I mean, I think it's a little bit of a different conversation than like a regular season who's playing, who's not playing. The preseason, it's who
Howie
we
want to see certain guys, and then he suggests to Nick that play this guy. Is that the way it works?
I think it's who's taking the field. I don't necessarily think it's like, oh, I want you to start this guy. I think it's more of a who we protecting here, who shouldn't see the field, who do we need to see more of by comparison.
Okay. Now, it looks like Tyler Steen has knocked down the right guard spot, but they haven't really named it. They're reluctant to still name it. They still want that competition going on. So let's hear what Nick's had to say about that. It's Nick Sirianni 8.
Yeah, again, we don't have to name any starters at this particular point. Tyler's obviously been in there with the ones, and Tyler's doing a really good job. Thought Tyler had a really good off season. The way he worked, I get reports. I talk to the strength staff, every single day. Give me a report on this, and Tyler Steen seemed to come back every single time of how good he was doing in the weight room with his strength, with his agility, all those things. So,
okay, all right. Well, he's obviously going to be the starter. He just doesn't want to name him yet. Strange.
It is. Well, it's early on. I mean, I guess you open it up a little bit more.
Who's the competition, though? I mean, the guy they got in the trade isn't we haven't heard much about him at all.
No, and he had missed time with injury, which would be pretty underwhelming. I mean, it was going to be an underwhelming return regardless for CJ, but very underwhelming. This competition is just not one right now.
All right, let's have him talk about the ones getting more reps and building trust with the quarterback. That's Nick Sirianni 10.
Yeah, anytime that obviously the ones in our practices get more reps, so they're getting more reps than they would get when they were with the twos. So anytime you get more reps, and that's huge. It builds trust and with the quarterback, which is always big. Johnny had a big third down catch in a backed up scenario yesterday, which again builds confidence. And so yeah, I think those guys in that wide receiver room are doing a nice job.
Oh, I bet Johnny Wilson. Who will probably see a lot of time on Thursday. You think Devontae Smith will play Thursday?
No.
John Dotson, will he play?
He's one that I think is like
He might play.
fringe. I would lean to no, but I think we see him at some point this preseason.
Will they play Goddard?
No.
Will they play Shipley? Probably, right? Shipley and A.J. Dillon?
Think that Shipley and A.J. Dillon play, yeah. I think the only running back to be spared is Saquon. A.J. and Devontae definitely not on the field. Dallas definitely not on the field.
None of
Hurts.
the offensive linemen will play. Will
Do you think Steen played? Are we going to know exactly how this competition is played out if Steen is sitting with the rest of the offensive line?
You want to have Steen playing with backups? Like, I don't know. Is that conducive to building confidence when you're playing with guys that you're not going to be playing with?
Well, I'm saying, I think we find out that he's the lead guy if there is no world in which they play.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's go to Hal in Lumberton. Hal, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Hal?
Hey, Mike, great story, Mike Tolen. What a gem.
Yeah, he's great.
He's unbelievable. I was just watching a couple of days ago. I was bored. I put on radio. What a great movie with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah.
That's one of his.
Yes, it is.
But,
Yep.
but I want to talk about Alvarado, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to die. I mean, I'm taking this Ozempic. In March. Didn't he confer with the trainer before he put the poison in his body? But he just went out on a whim?
I listen. I had a theory about how this whole thing happened, and I blame the Phillies for not staying on it. The Phillies kind of skated out of this whole thing. I mean, I thought they needed to keep tabs on a guy that had a weight problem and they knew he was taking stuff for the weight.
Right.
The whole thing is muddled to me.
It is, and then of course, the other part is, and you guys are bringing it up, is how we're going to utilize it. I mean, we're starting to build the chemistry. We're starting to synchronize the bullpen. So we put him in there. Yeah, he's a great arm, but then what happens postseason?
It's a good question on how they will use him, and that's a question for the manager on how they plan to implement him, what innings they need to implement him. If they put him in a role where he's an eighth inning guy to get to Duran, well, then you're not going to have him in the playoffs, so you got guys...
Well, that's what Kirkering's for, right? Is he Kirkering in number 8?
It's going to be Kirkering, Strom in the 8th to get to Duran in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So maybe they restrict Alvarado to 6th and 7th inning so they don't mess up that dynamic.
Yeah, that makes sense, but the bats were alive tonight, unbelievable.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, okay. Yeah.
Weston Wilson! Yes, sir!
I know.
Harrison Bader, Ray's favorite player.
What is he, what do you call it? He went through the cycle, right? First rookie for Phillies that had a cycle a couple years ago.
Uh-huh.
That was Weston, right?
Yeah, Weston
Wilson.
Yeah, how about that?
I know. But I like Bader, knocking one out. I thought that was great. And
from now on, we call him Tots. His nickname is Tots, apparently.
I like Tots. I like that. I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
Bader Tots? Is that where it comes from?
Yeah, that's the origin of it, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
You did some investigative work?
I did.
Bader Tots? They couldn't come up with anything better than that.
It sounds like it was a bunch of high schoolers.
Like Bades? Like something like that? I don't know. Bades? Yeah, they use his last name, Bades. Yeah, Bader. They usually use a version of that last name.
Yeah, I got where you got it from. I don't think I'm going to call it Bates.
Doesn't work. Bates doesn't work. Tots is better.
People like me that are close to him call him Harry.
Okay. Harry. I don't think he's ever been called Harry ever.
It's only those close to him.
610-632-0975. All right, Ray has been out of Wi-Fi at his house. It's a dilemma. In this day and age, you don't have Wi-Fi, you're sunk. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies bash past the O's. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies hit 6 home runs at 13-3 throttling of the Orioles. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs, including a grand slam. Bryce Harper, Harrison Bader Edmundo Sosa and Weston Wilson all got in on the home run fun. Schwarber showed up, or was showered with MVP chants last night and spoke post-game about that.
It just happens. It goes over the fence. And like I said, those are the moments that you take in as a player. That those are special things that happen. And those are things that kind of just go in the back of memory and hold on to those things for a while. But yeah, it was obviously a really cool thing. I appreciate it.
Phillies host the Orioles again tonight at 6:45 with Taijuan Walker on the mound. We're 2 days away from the Eagles' preseason opener against the Bengals. Last night they traded defensive tackle Thomas Book IV for quarterback Jacorian Bennett. Bennett makes an immediate jump into the competition for that second cornerback spot opposite of Quinyon Mitchell. Keely Ringo and Dory Jackson already a big part of that competition. This update is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Second game against the Orioles. Taiwan Walker for the Phillies. Dean Kremer for the Orioles. The Phillies a minus 145 favorite. As it stands right now, the Phillies atop the NL East, which means they have the third seed behind the Brewers at 1, the Dodgers 2, then Phillies, Cubs, Mets, Padres. So if the season ended today, which it doesn't, Phillies, Padres, first round series, the games will be at CBP. And if the Phillies win that series, they would play the Dodgers with L.A. having home field advantage. It almost, I don't know, isn't it better if the Phillies finish the 4th seed? Play the Mets in the first round and then play the Brewers?
They couldn't finish 4th. The Mets would be their opponent. The Mets would have to jump in the division.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So the Mets would be the division winner. So the Phillies would have to play the Cubs.
Yeah. Well, you got starting pitching to get out of that
I'm
one.
okay with that. I'm okay with that series.
Yeah. Cubs, I think they can definitely handle the Cubs, Padres. The Brewers are a good team, but earlier I said it, and I still think it. I still think they could beat the Brewers. I mean, the Phillies and Brewers matchup would be the two ends of the spectrum. Be the bash at all costs or the try and manufacture.
Yeah.
And Brewers don't have the names of the pitching staff that the Phillies do, but they've got a solid staff. And
all right, tonight, by the way, facing a right-hander. Do they go all left? Do they go Marsh Kepi? Or do they take a leap of faith and go with Tots in center field? What would you, coming off a home run night, would you go Tots or would you go Marsh Kepler?
I would like to see Harrison Bader out there.
What do you think's going to happen?
I think Max Kepler's going to.
I agree. I think Kepi left, Marshy in center, Stott at second. Maybe he plays Sosa, hot bat.
Sosa probably gets to start
third base.
Yeah.
No double O tonight.
No Otto.
All right.
Why do we have to watch Kepler? It's August 5th, man. We know what this is.
One of our colleagues here, if we can call him that. He produced my show for a couple of days, drove me nuts. He's a kid that's all over the place. Brendan Gunn is his name. The morning show had a little interesting thing here. He probably wasn't paying any attention. So set this up for us, Ray. What were they discussing?
So today a story went up on ESPN about the lingering question for each team in Major League Baseball the rest of the way. And Andrew was going through it. He went through the Cubs, the Dodgers, the Brewers, and then decided to open it up to the class. You know, you got John Kincade, Amy Fadul, Brendan Gunn. He wanted to know, what do you think the big concern, the lingering concern,
what do you think the
question
lingering concern for the Phillies is?
Yes.
Was the question.
Was how that was placed. So
Okay.
here's Andrew setting that up.
Okay.
And Brendan Gunn's answer to that.
Okay.
So we have middle of the order power for the Brewers, top line pitching for the Cubs, pitching health for the Dodgers, offensive consistency for the Tigers. What do you think the Phillies' lingering concern is?
Outfield uncertainty.
I'm going to go with bottom of the lineup hitting.
Bullpen?
Brendan, you want to take a guess?
4? My way off?
No. The lingering concern. for the
Four. He obviously wasn't paying attention to the conversation, and he got caught with his drawers down.
Bullpen?
Brendan, you want to take a guess?
4?
4. Oh my God!
He was so great
This
live
dude
in the
is
moment.
He's such a dizzy SOB sometimes.
His excuse was that he was on the text line.
Yeah, he wasn't paying attention.
We've all been on the text
4,
line.
4.
But come on.
He didn't think they were going to go to him.
Which
that's classic.
It's Andrew. He usually canvasses the entire group. That's how he rolls in that
awesome.
show.
All right, now Ray, let's get to you here. The move. No Wi-Fi. Now, why is that? You haven't had your router installed yet?
No, I haven't had the router installed, which drives me nuts.
Oh, you're a cord cutter anyway, though, right?
Right, which means
Okay.
I have legitimately nothing right now. So I have
you
no
have
cable
nothing.
because I don't get
Well,
cable.
what is your life like without Wi-Fi or cable?
Last night I had to go down to an establishment and sit down and watch the game there, which I know is really
that's not
twisted my
bad.
arm.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, most Mondays I go out with the same friend.
But are you one of these guys that like before you go to bed you watch something?
No.
No?
That's evidenced by the fact that I haven't watched anything. That sometimes
Yeah,
I'll fall
true.
asleep on the couch to West Coast baseball, but the couch I usually would fall asleep on we left behind at the old place. So
Yeah, I tell you, the world has gotten to the point you gotta have Wi-Fi, man.
this morning,
You gotta have it. Think about this like 10 years ago. Like now, it's so you desperately need to have Wi-Fi or a television connection.
yeah, it's horrible. And plus putting together the show sheet this morning, I had to walk down to a cafe because the hotspot I tried to do it yesterday and it was no good. I had no good
Yeah,
connection.
I felt that recently. My power went out for a while. It's like, what do you do, man?
What do you do?
I
What
mean,
did you do? What was the thing?
Yeah, I did nothing. I read.
Oh,
I read, but I read with a flashlight.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you're paralyzed.
You
Without
really
power,
are.
it's like you really take it for granted.
My roommate works from home. I mean, this is tough. Also, can I get a little upset over something real quick?
Go ahead.
So, the router in the old place was in a former roommate's name that we've been just Venmoing him for the Wi-Fi payment every month because it was one of the things you kick down the road and you figure out later.
Yeah.
We have the router. We are staying with the same company, and we moved to a new location. I was told that you can't use that router since it's not in your name for a new account under a new name.
Yeah,
What sense does it make to send somebody out to my apartment to install a router when I have a plenty good router right here?
I mean, they can't hook that up by computer?
They said that if we use that router, it would be considered as stolen property.
Whoa.
Because it's not the same name under the account. I said, you know I have it. I'm telling you I have it. I could read the serial number to you right now. Just let me use the router. Now, that's stolen property right there. You're going to get your friend charged. You know where my friend, his router is. It's with me. I have the router. I'm telling you I have the router. I'm going to return it if you don't let me use it.
What's the company?
I'm not throwing any names out
okay,
there.
because we may have an advertising.
No, we
connection
don't
with them?
have an advertising
we
connection.
don't?
That would be the other reason.
Okay.
What? Help me. Help you. You don't want to send a technician out.
me
You could go get another
Help
customer
you.
taken
What
care of.
movie is that from? Help me, help you.
I don't know. I've used it many times.
It's a movie.
It is. It's a line.
Yeah,
Help
what is
me.
it? Help me, help you. Is that Jerry Maguire?
Jerry Maguire.
There you go.
There you go.
Jerry Maguire. The Fanatic Deal of the Week, by the way. Pretty good one. $50 gift card to Troubles End Brewing in Collegeville for just $25. Enjoy craft brews and delicious food at Troubles End Brewing, Montgomery County's go-to craft brew pub. Get this exclusive offer while supplies last at 975thefanatic.com/deals. And I was remiss not to tell you that the 12 o'clock hour of the show, which featured Mike Tolen, was brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months, rebates and tax credits up to $4,300. When purchasing a heating and cooling system, learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. Mike Missanelli Show continues on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hi, my name is
642, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. If you want to climb into the show, 610-632-0975. We got our text board humming. It's been humming all day with a lot of topics that we've talked about today. So let's go back to it, Ray. And what's the text board saying at this particular time?
Anthony checking in. This better be the outfield after the 15th. Cassidy, right field. Crawford, center field. Bader, Marsh, platoon in left field.
Well, that's my choice right there.
As far as Kepler goes,
he'll get,
won't see him no more.
Yeah, he'll get released. That's, I just wonder if they're so reluctant to bring up Crawford that they would go with a triple platoon for their lineup, with center field being Bader, Marsh, left field being Kepler, and either Weston Wilson or Otto Kemp. I wonder if they're thinking of going that way and not bringing the kid up.
I hope not. I can't do
this. It certainly
this.
would, to me, would make their lineup top to bottom better. Even if you hit him down in the order, you get him acclimated. He's an exciting guy. I think there'd be a lot of intrigue to see him play, to settle some positions where you got just one platoon or maybe the two, if you're going to go with Stott and Sosa, which they probably will in the playoffs. Stott probably doesn't. It's a shame, but he probably doesn't have a chance to hit against lefties in the playoffs. Right?
That's not a shame.
Well, it is, because I think he's a good player who's been beaten down mentally.
But I want someone that's going to hit.
I know you're not high on Stotty.
I mean, if he works through it this offseason, comes back next year, you got the opportunity to be an everyday guy. But right
you don't
now,
think he can catch fire. You're done with him.
Not forever, but for the rest of this season, I'm good with the platoon.
I just don't want to sacrifice defense. And I know Sosa's not bad, but he's not Stott.
Sosa on that side of the infield is better than the throw the other day from third is an example of just how sometimes I feel like he gets a little carried away from that side, shortstop, third base.
He takes a running start when he's at third base. You notice he takes
and the pump, the dropping it into the glove and bringing it back out. That scares me. I don't really feel like he gets set. I feel like he gets a little wild.
I
in
agree.
That sense.
Bobby Dickerson, I'm shocked that he plays it that way, because I don't think Bobby Dickerson would want him to play it that way.
Well, Mundo Sosa was the viral. You remember the ump got nailed in the head?
Yeah.
With the throw coming across the diamond. That was Mundo Sosa on the Cardinals. That clip is him.
That's right.
That viral, totally errant throw that just crushed the umpire. That was him.
They thought he could play shortstop at that point. That's a regular. They soured quickly.
He's been a good utility guy for this team. I mean, he's a good guy to play a couple times a week. Every time it's been, he's gotten the opportunity, obviously, to fill in for Turner when Turner was hurt last year, and that was where the everyday Edmundo thing kind of took off. He's a valuable player to have on your team, but I don't think he's an everyday guy. But right now, I don't think Stott's playing at an everyday level.
No. Last night, that Tyler O'Neill hit a bomb. And I look at this guy, I go, this guy is like a bodybuilder. I don't know how you're a baseball player if you're that conscious of your muscles.
Well,
I don't get it.
It's the reason why he's on the injured list seemingly every season.
I don't know what his motivation was to get that pumped up. You don't see baseball players that way.
So, just running you through the seasons here, because this is a nice exercise for Tyler O'Neill. You bring him up. Similar guy. I have one friend that does the buy, really big on the futures market. Loves a good MVP long odds type of guy. Buxton's been his guy for a long time, and he loves Tyler O'Neill.
He does.
Tyler O'Neill had the 1 year in 2021 where he plays 138 games. He actually finished 8th in MVP voting. Since that time, 96 games, 72 games, and we're sitting at 42 games right now. 113 last year with the Red Sox, actually the second highest of his career. He has played over 100 games twice in an 8-year career. One of those being a COVID year, so 7, but 2 out of 7 years.
He would be a valuable guy in the old days where they had when you pinch hit for the pitcher. He'd be a really good pinch hitter. You get one at bat.
Keep him from getting hurt.
Yeah.
Perfect usage for him.
You just don't see muscle dudes like that anymore. But he probably is a pretty powerful guy. He launched that one last night. Whew.
Yeah, I mean,
that was a smash.
His 162 game average would be 30 home runs.
Yeah.
He just has never played 162 games. And it doesn't seem like he's ever going to.
All right, what else do we have on our text board today?
Speaking of guys with muscle, we got Mike checking in, Mike from South Jersey, with our all Bill Colarulo team. If Bill could put together a team, according to Mike, this would be the team that he would put together. In left field, Otto Kemp. Center field, Weston Wilson. Right field, Cal Stevenson.
Cal Stevenson.
At catcher, Stubbs for the vibes. Third base would be Sosa. First base would be Brad Miller. Shortstop would be Freddie Galvis. Second base would be Kingery. A designated hitter would be Buddy Kennedy. Now, I think this was just a lineup put together as the anti-Mike Missanelli team.
Yeah, probably, but Bill has endorsed many of those guys.
Yes.
Bill's been an endorser of many of those guys. Bill loves the lower talented. I don't understand why either. He the lower talented in baseball. He loves them. And I'm talking about the Bill who was on the sidelines today going, Coach, hi, Coach, it's Bill. Over here, Coach, it's Bill. Oh, I can't get enough of him going to practice. It's fabulous. What else?
Another texter. Can you explain to me why Justin Crawford isn't here?
Well, he's not here yet because of that rule where they don't want to start his service time. Well, and that date is when?
August 15th.
August 15th. So when August 15th rolls around, which is close, you get 10 more days, maybe they bring him up. I mean, I don't know what they... Listen, he'll definitely be up in September as a September call-up. But I would like to hear what they're talking about. You know, I haven't been invited to only the first 16 general managers were invited to the talks on what they were going to do with Justin Crawford. I wasn't privy to it.
Only guys with a seat at the table.
Yeah, I was at the snack machine getting Cheez-Its.
Great call by you. Elite. Tier 1.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're thinking about. But they've got to be discussing that part of it where they would bring him up and play him in center field. Now, the inner workings of this, it means they have to DFA Kepler and all that stuff, and it's a financial decision, and all those decisions are talked about. But they can't be possibly be thinking that he would just be restricted to a September call-up, could they?
No. I think he has to be a part of what they're playing. Like, they didn't make the big swing in the outfield. I feel like their big swing in the outfield, they're going to sell us on the whole, well, the real addition we made in the outfield was getting the use of our young player, Justin Crawford. Like, I feel like that's what the selling point's going to be. Because they can't look at this outfield and say it's complete, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to roll with Kepler the rest of the way. I don't think, like, if their problem is they have to figure out what they're doing with Bader and Marsh when it comes to Crawford, I think that's the good problem in your outfield. Right now, you have a bad problem in your outfield.
Yeah.
Where you're rolling out Kepler and a couple of right-handed guys that, at this point, haven't shown you they could consistently stick it.
Yeah, well, all right. To me, it's a solution. Now, they can't go back once they do it, though.
And that's scary for them.
That's the thing, because they got to release Kepler.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying more concerned about Crawford hitting at this level.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not really concerned about losing Kepler.
That's what I'm saying. If he fails to hit, they have no alternative. They keep playing him.
Right. That or, I mean, I guess then they go the Marsh, Bader, Castellanos outfield.
All right. You feeling better about Bader? Feeling good?
Than Kepler? Yeah, absolutely.
You feeling good about in general?
Yeah, feel solid.
1 for 10.
Got me the pop I needed right there. Big 3-run homer last night.
Okay.
Be nice if they played him.
By the way, this has nothing to do with anything. I was just reading a story recently. Heidi Klum believes her body is infested with worms and parasites.
Oh.
And these celebrities, man, they crack me up. She believes that her body's infested with worms and parasites. So she's got to deworm and deparasite in some kind of a month-long cleanse purge. That she recommends that everybody do this at least once a year.
Once a year?
Yes.
So it's a month-long thing once a year.
apparently we all have parasites and worms. If you are someone who eats raw things every now and then, like, for example, sushi. Now, Ray, I know you eat sushi, right?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, Heidi Klum, I don't have the funds you have.
Well,
Nor
I
the
mean,
free
I
time.
don't know whether it's expensive or not. But
I can't imagine a parasite and worm cleansing is.
I don't know how you cleanse it. It might be just with a pill. Let's see what she. It's herb-packed pills to evict the parasites and the worms.
How much are the pills?
I don't know. Just there's clove in the pill. Apparently, parasites hate clove, and they also hate the seeds from a papaya.
All right, I'll just start eating papayas.
So there you go. I'm just trying to improve your health regimen.
I appreciate
All right,
that.
we end this show with a little Heidi Klum. You can't do better than that.
No.
So
No, you
stay
can't.
tuned because Unfiltered is coming up, and Bill will regale tales of his day on
Hell
the
yeah.
sidelines, getting the attention of the coach.
So much good.
Yes, it is so much.
We all fertilize.
Thanks, everybody, for listening to the show today. Tomorrow, Jason Stark joins us, and also General Knowledge Wednesday. We'll have a Boffo prize for you tomorrow. Everybody have a great rest of the night. Stay tuned for Unfiltered. We'll talk to you tomorrow.